The Amp Theory Podcast with Peter Vasquez and Scott Counsey.
Four, 3, 2. Yeah. Ooh.
Hey, like,
I won
you
this
know,
week, I'm
No,
sorry.
but I won the first one, so that's what all that counts.
nah, I don't know if that one counted because he actually counted down 5, 4, 3, 2,
Yeah.
1.
You guys did your
Hold
clap
on, but-
before I even.
hold on.
I'm the one that starts this. Okay.
All right, I'm
you
playing
guys
devil-
might finish it.
I'm playing devil's advocate
Somebody's gonna
here.
be the fluffer. Okay.
Somebody-
I'm playing devil's advocate here because you did kind of cheat. You
How did I
you
cheat?
because you clapped it too, motherfucker. You're supposed to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 clap.
I think from now on,
Where-
every time there's
where's
a clap,
the-
you should make your ass clap. Just
Can you do it?
We're under the stages of trying to get monetization. The last thing we need is me clapping my ass and getting us demonetized.
Yeah.
Nah,
for
but
sure.
you
We
brag.
don't need any. We don't need any YouTube strikes.
Nah, you
okay?
brag about clapping cheeks, so here we are.
hey guys, welcome to the Amp Theory Podcast, episode
22.
2.
Shout out to Emmett Smith.
Hey, I like that.
I'm gonna start doing random sports players with the number of podcasts we're at. So
I feel
shout
like
out to
you'll
Emmett Smith.
I feel like you'll forget by the next time.
Yeah, next week is gonna be completely.
I'm sorry, number 23. I wonder who the fuck I'm gonna say next week.
LeBron?
I don't know. We don't
Jordan?
know. I don't know. Why are you talking about next week? We're focused on now.
All right. my bad. So welcome to episode 22.
Yep.
We're here. We're back. We're feeling good. How was everybody's weekend?
I'm gonna let Jonathan start. I feel like
it's
you,
pretty
I feel like
good.
you got stories.
No, celebrated my dad's birthday.
What'd you do?
61.
61?
Yeah, the old.
Damn.
So close to 69.
So close.
That's about 8 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be a special.
How was
birthday.
that?
Oh yeah.
It's pretty good.
I heard you were grilling.
Yeah, was that the grilling?
Well-
Get down?
All right, hold on.
Made some homemade burgers. My
Okay.
mom busted out, so I went over to their house. Mom busted out this new little like patty maker where it makes the perfect size of patties.
Uh-huh.
You put it down, and I got to season everything because
What-
there's a myth out there that white people don't season their food, but not up in here. Okay,
I don't know.
So-
You're a little undercooked.
they were great. I got 2 in the fridge in there
I
that I'm
want
gonna
you
be
to-
eating later.
I want you
actually.
to tell me about the hot dogs because I know you know your way around a wiener.
They're actually from Whole Foods. They're
Oh,
they're
they're-
organic hot dogs.
Oh, shit.
Good as fuck, bro. They get this. So you know
Preach.
the best kind of hot dogs get plump when you cook them, right? The
Yeah.
ballpark are
Yeah.
top tier. But
I guess you're not doing a good job if it doesn't get plump, right?
Well, no. Some hot dogs. You know, we're not talking about no turkey bacon dogs, and no. We're talking about American beef hot dogs. You know.
We're talking about pig face, pig asshole.
Yeah.
And
If it
pig.
ain't got lips and asshole, I don't want to eat it. All right?
It's hoof,
That's
right?
a good motto to live by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Took it. Derailed that one. Anyways.
This motherfucker spitting.
These, when I
He's
put them
like,
on the grill
Hot
today,
dogs not. I mean, hamburgers not really. I know my way around a wiener. It's gotta have like pig everything.
you know what? You have to be a master on the grill to get a good wiener cooking, okay?
Oh.
But these, they were getting extra plump. One of them, like, they were like starting to like bulge out on the sides, and then it would like
Ooh.
split open, and it would.
Yeah.
Ooh, and the juices came out.
The juices were coming all
you
out.
nasty.
Oh man, the fire was hot enough, man. They were fucking delicious. And
Yeah.
then, of course, you know how good my mom's homemade cake is.
Yeah.
She made white cake, which was basically wedding cake.
Wait a minute.
So.
You
I'm
know,
not- wedding
I'm a
cake
little,
is
I'm a
white
little
cake.
offended. I'm a little
yeah,
offended.
you triggered him. He's
called
a
white
little. He's a
He's
little
saying, I
triggered.
can't have none of the white cake?
No.
No.
No, he said no.
I was saying no as a joke. I was saying no as a
It wasn't
joke.
my birthday.
Oh,
My
he was
birthday's
like,
in a
white
couple
only
weeks.
cake is probably what it
No,
probably
Jonathan
used to
was
be
like, I'd be like, hey, Jonathan, can Peter have some cake? And you're like, no, that's not what I said.
He's like, rules is rules.
No, honestly, ever since Django, anytime I hear the word white cake, I just immediately think of Django. We are having white cake.
yeah.
So that's what you
So,
had.
I'm
You
a little
had
It's basically it's wedding cake. My mom makes a hell of a wedding cake.
vanilla bean. That's what
So-
you should have went with
It's
that.
vanilla cake. But
Hey,
it's
that's what
that,
you should've said.
her that butter.
That's
that,
a lot less
That
offensive.
homemade buttercream
than white-
icing she makes, which
say
is
white powder?
almost too sweet to eat.
Wait, what? I'm over here laughing at shit he said. What'd you
Homemade
say?
buttercream icing.
Ooh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's
that the
almost
next
like it's
level?
almost too rich to fucking finish,
A little bit, yeah.
That's
yeah.
next level?
bro.
Did you call it white power cake?
No, why would it be that?
I don't know, bro. I don't like the way things have started. I feel a little triggered.
You've never heard of white cake? What do you think tres leches is? That's a white cake.
Oh.
And tres leches,
That's
my mom makes a
offensive.
badass tres leches cake.
Your mom makes tres leches cake?
That's white
Yes.
guilt. That's
Not
white
as good as
guilt
my
cake.
wife. My wife makes great tres leches cake, and it's a little brown on the inside. So,
He
You know
makes
what?
white guilt cake.
white.
You know what? I'm
white
gonna
tear
ask.
cake.
Yeah.
My birthday's here in a couple weeks. For my birthday, I'm gonna have my mom make a tres leches cake, and I'm gonna bring some, and you guys can try it before the
All right.
podcast that week.
Oh, we'll try it on the podcast.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
try it on the podcast. That's fine.
And we'll
No,
get like
no,
a
no.
talk-
Before
Quit
the
talking shit
podcast.
about my mom.
Yeah. Before the podcast.
in case some expletives like slip out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, white power. Oh shit, what's going on?
I feel it in you.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, it was good while it lasted. If anything, this is going to be the one that gets us demonetized and deplatformed. We're talking about white power.
Hey, just remember, I don't come from what's it?
None of this
Position,
is. Yeah.
I don't come from a position of power, so cancel these motherfuckers.
Well,
Sorry guys, I gotta use.
I'm an innocent
the only card
bystander.
I have to play.
I'm an innocent bystander to this. Jonathan's the one talking about the cakes, and you're over here making the jokes. I'm just laughing.
You
I like how in a lot of things in the podcast, he just likes to take himself out of it and let us handle all the heat. I'm fucking
Yeah.
with you.
Name one.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like it.
Name one. Never mind.
All right,
If we're talking
so-
about last week, never mind.
Look, so here.
Oh, wait, yeah. What happened last week, Robert?
Oh yeah, we had to pick the fucking.
We'll just say we just had to pick up the slack and
That's what I was
do a
trying to
little
say.
bit of dirty work. And
Yeah.
Brian was
I had
not
a-
happy.
He was not, and I had to take a shower after what we did. So
I actually listened to it 17 times in a row.
I made a beat out of it.
What's funny is nobody will know what we're talking about.
Nobody knows what we're talking about. so
Somebody's
everybody-
gonna figure it out.
This is where they click off the video because what the
They're
fuck
like,
are these motherfuckers talking about?
We don't know anything.
But hey, so actually, good thing you brought up Brian.
Uh-huh.
So this is the gay poo. He's the new Amp Theory podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mascot.
What did I say?
You just said he's the new Amp Theory podcast.
I meant mascot.
He's the mascot. Yeah,
He's a
yeah,
mascot.
He's
Shut up.
actually talking for everybody now.
Yeah. So this is we named him Brian Wayne Pooh.
BWP for short.
BWP for short. But we asked people to leave comments of what the name could be better, and
Not a lot of people commented.
The one comment we
It was
got,
more than 0, but less than 2.
which was actually like,
Which, well, I mean, we had a lot of comments, but specifically about Brian.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
It-
only one. Or
Yeah,
two.
getting one comment was like one comment more than I thought we were gonna get.
That's
So,
true.
like we said,
At least that shows that somebody's paying attention.
Yeah.
yeah.
So.
And
I don't know if that's a good or a
yeah.
bad thing.
I don't know, but I think okay. So Amp Theory, right?
Mm-hmm.
We only needed one comment because it made the most fucking sense.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The person, and I wish we'd have gotten the fucking name, but the person.
You're over there with the analytics. Why don't you look it up?
Yeah. The person basically said, since we're Amp Theory,
Mm-hmm.
it should be the Amazingly Marvelous Pooh, AMP,
Mm-hmm.
Marv for short.
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking makes sense. How could we not do
Totally
that?
makes sense.
Totally makes sense.
And
I like it.
With that,
Yeah.
he's no longer BWP. He's
Hey,
Marv.
Hey, moment of silence for Brian. All right, but we got BWP. Fuck. I brought it right back. But Marv, the Amazingly Marvelous Pooh.
Jonathan, you got that name yet?
I'm trying to figure out what video it was on.
Anyways,
We
Yeah.
put out so many videos a week, so it's hard
Yeah.
to track.
Yeah. But hey, you know who you are, and we appreciate you.
I want to find the name.
Oh, we're gonna
Just
find the
continue.
name, but because it's not the first time we're gonna bring it up with the reaction videos.
Oh no.
Can we stop that?
Yeah, so
somebody paying attention.
So
to that shit.
what you can't see is like in the background, we actually are like really narcissistic and egotistic
Oh,
that we
man.
have like ourselves playing
The
in the
remote is way
background.
over there, so I guess I'm gonna have to get on
No,
camera.
no, you're good. I'll get it. Hey,
So with that said, Peter's actually gonna like step away for a second. Hey, you know what? You offered. You know what? Fuck you. You offered with your shorty shorts.
Where is it?
It's right there on the.
God,
On top of the. Right there on the TV.
God, we're so professional. But you know, I don't mind looking at myself on TV. But now I'm gonna stare at myself laughing and stare at you staring at me. So just look at me longingly for the rest of this episode. Give me them give me them butterfly kisses. Ooh.
By the way, you know I can make that look better because I'll just zoom in on him the whole time, so where it doesn't look like you're gone.
Yeah, I mean,
A
seeing
little
that he
bit
had
of
better
video magic.
fucking.
You know what? if you didn't want to do it, you shouldn't have offered. And since you did offer, you shouldn't bitch about it.
Yeah, you know what? Well, somebody has to fucking be the hero around
God,
here.
you know I'm tired.
Not
of
all heroes win capes.
I'm tired of carrying this shit. Wait, you're not the hero that we need. You're the hero we deserve.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you.
Yeah.
Because other than that, I was gonna watch us react to some old shit.
Yeah, I saw you spill water on that one podcast. You remember that?
No, I've never spilled anything in my life.
Yeah, well.
Oh, that's a fucking lie.
What?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's your brother spilling a giant red drink on Richard's carpet a week before he moves out. And he just talked about, man, I can't wait. I get my whole deposit back. And his brother spilled a large red soda all over his
Big
carpet,
red?
and as soon as it fell down, he yells out, "No, my deposit!"
So my brother doesn't drink Big Red. He drinks Tahitian Treat.
Yo, Tahitian Treat is bomb.
Tahitian Treat is fucking
Fuck is
great.
that?
I thought you were about to say gross.
No,
I was like, we're gonna have to fight.
No.
First fight on the podcast.
I would never, desecrate Tahitian Treat.
Tahitian Treat fucking slaps. Get it really fucking cold. You don't even need ice if it's cold enough.
Yeah.
Just in a cup on a real hot day. This shit slaps.
What the fuck is that?
It's like Big Red.
I'm gonna
but
get next podcast. You're gonna try Tahitian Treat live on the podcast. It's
Really?
some good shit.
It's super good.
Yes.
Is like Big Red?
It's better
No,
than
it's
Big
way
Red.
better. Way
It's
better.
carbonated, but
It's
it tastes
sweeter.
a little bit more like
Big
Hawaiian
Red's
Punch.
kind of bitter. This is way sweeter.
No, Big Red's not bitter. Big Red just
I don't like
gives you
the
like a
taste of Big
licorice
Red.
taste.
I don't like the taste of Big
God,
Red.
like you need to fix your taste buds, COVID. What we need to circle back to is Peter. What did you do this weekend?
What did I do this weekend?
I feel that I know you played with your kids. That's awesome. And then your wife yelled at you.
She yells at me. That's every day. That's not a weekend thing.
Shit. What did she yell at you about?
I don't know. I don't ever listen.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah. No, I
Y'all
listen.
been married for how long?
No, okay, look, I got this trick.
Okay.
Right? Because we've been married for 11 years, right?
Okay.
After a while,
Uh-huh.
I do the same shit over and over and over, you know? So
Like,
it's kinda
hold
like
on.
the
When you
same
do
thing.
the same shit, you do the same like fuck up over and over and
Yeah.
over.
You know, it's like nobody's perfect, you know? So,
I got you.
So, you know, sometimes this is a trick I tell everybody. It's great, right? Because you get a really upset wife,
Mm-hmm.
and the first time that you do it, it's going to be great. She loves it. But about the 20th time you do it, she'll stay mad. But basically, like, I'll be in the kitchen, and she'll, like, start being like, hey, Peter, like, why the fuck didn't you do this? And blah, 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 and this and that. And I'm like, yeah.
And his wife watches this, so I wonder like what her reaction to your impersonation of her is.
I don't know.
Like.
We're going to find out.
Next podcast, Peter's gonna have a black eye.
Yeah. I'll be like, she didn't like it. But basically, so like she'll sit there and she'll be like, hey, I told you to rinse off the dishes and you didn't do it, and like you know how like you make it really hard on me, and I'm like, yeah, I know, but I fucking forgot, you know, I didn't do it on purpose. And then like she'll be like, and I learned like now 11 years in, I don't argue, right? I'm just like,
Sure.
okay, you know. So she's like, she goes on and blah blah blah, and it always gets to a point where she's like, you're not gonna say anything.
Oh.
So at that time, what I try to do, because I noticed when she's about to come down, right? Like when she said,
Sorry, go ahead.
when she said like everything that she can say, right?
Yeah.
So like as she's starting to wind down, right? I'll always either be in the refrigerator or I'm looking in a cabinet for nothing. I'm just like doing it, right? But what happens is I'm like this, and she's like, "You're not gonna say anything," and I go, I turn around and go, "Huh?" Bro, first time I did that, she thought it was fucking hilarious. We were laughing, we were hooting. Like I said, I do that every time, and now she's like,
She's
"Fuck
caught
you."
on.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
What about you, Jonathan? Since you have a significant other, how do you get out of trouble, or what do you do to get into trouble?
I don't get in trouble because I'm not a fucking idiot, and I listen, and I've never been in trouble with Wendy.
You know
Ask
what?
her.
Hold on.
Ask her. No, fucking
Hold
ask
on.
her.
Hold on.
It's because
ask
he's
her.
whipped.
Hold on.
No.
I have a conspiracy theory.
'Cause I'm not
I have a
stupid.
conspiracy theory. No. You say that you're not stupid right now because you're not married. I think once the ring goes on your finger, then you're like,
I don't
hey,
think anything
you're gonna
really
be in trouble
change-
every day.
Anything should really change.
Oh, it
that
changes.
much.
It changes.
Yeah. Do you think?
At least
okay.
personality-wise.
Oh no, personality-wise, it's the same. But you want to know what changes? You can't just go.
There's
a
legalities
process now.
involved.
So
That
both,
just comes also with age, bro.
yeah. But both people start being like, you know what? You can't just fucking break up with me. So, and then you start farting like in front of each other. You know. Next thing,
I'm already at that stage.
Oh no.
We woke up this morning and she was all cute, like, "Oh, good morning." Like, "Good morning. I gotta go take a shit." She was like, "Oh God."
Oh, that's real romance.
And then she's like, "Turn on the fan so I don't have to hear you."
Yeah.
There was something I saw on TikTok where this guy, like, this British guy walks. He's like, "Guess my fart," and the girl's like, "Mrah," and then he goes, "Mrah," and then people are like, "Man, this is what real romance is." I don't know if it's real romance, but I was like, they've definitely hit that level of comfort that I've never had with a significant other.
Yeah. Well, I think what happens is that, like, a lot of people, I always talk about this. We get our education about love from, like, fucking movies and songs where it's
and
like they get the fucking passion of love and they put it into a 2-minute, 3-minute song, a fucking 1 hour and a half fucking movie, right? Which is nothing but highlights.
Yeah.
And then you go into this expectation thing that shits are just gonna be shits and giggles. But it's not. It's like what takes a real relationship is just like the everyday, like living with somebody who didn't grow up the way you grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's things you're gonna have to put up with and there's things that the other person's gonna have to put up with.
Yeah.
And that's what love is.
Well, also, I think part of getting older and more maturing more, like, it's become less and less of a thing to me. Like, I would say when you're a teenager and you're thinking about a girl, like, you don't even want to think about, oh, she might be taking a dump. But like now, when you get older, you're just like, okay, it's just part of life. Like, you.
That's not true. I've been with my wife 11 years. She's never taken a dump. I won't allow it.
Yeah. Hey,
what the fuck?
Any girlfriend that I've ever had has never taken a dump ever.
Ever. I don't even know.
It didn't matter how long I've been with them.
She might go into the bathroom, but she's probably in there just fucking
doing her makeup.
Doing her makeup.
Lying to yourself, brother.
Doing yoga.
No, what they're doing when they're in there for a long time is they're giving themselves a pep talk because they're like, I really have to go out there and deal with this motherfucker some more. Lord help me.
I'd rather that.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're not taking a shit.
Yeah. Yep.
You need to grow up.
You know what?
I would never do that.
Ever.
I'll never grow up.
Ever.
I'm like,
I'm a
like
real
Peter
boy.
Pan, bitch.
I'm. so.
Oh yeah, Peter.
So you just
And you
Peter Pan
motherfuckers
me.
look like the Lost Boys.
Rufio. You look more like Rufio than Peter Pan.
Rufio.
That's
Fucking
not a lie.
racist, bro.
No, it's not.
Peter Pan, bro. Pan, that's a Mexican
You don't.
last name.
No, you don't look. No, Pan does not sound like a Mexican last
bro,
name.
Pan is bread.
No, just because you fucking put like a little flavor on it
What
doesn't
y'all
make
like
it Mexican.
My name's Peter. Y'all call me Peter.
Okay, so you talking about that last name is what you cook in?
No, Pan in Spanish is bread.
Okay, well, what
And I be
I
getting
know
bread.
Peter Pan
So what's Panera?
isn't like a pan, like a cooking pan.
No, because it's Peter Pan.
He's fucking with you.
Peter Pan. That's how I heard.
Nah, that's not like a Spanish
Peter
accent.
Yan?
Peter
With a Y?
Pan. Peter
Peter
Pan.
Nah.
Oh wait, Peter Yan, that's a UFC fighter?
Yeah, that is. And he spells it different.
Yeah. But
Oh, you found the name.
I found the name, by the way.
Yeah.
She's actually a subscriber too. So
Hell
she might be
yeah!
watching
Thank
this.
you.
Hopefully she stuck around. But Jenna Moore, her comment was name suggestion: tie into your name Amp, amazingly marvelous poo. Mar for short? Question mark. By the way, he's adorable. Thank you. I love that name.
By the way, he is adorable, and by the way, you wanted it, you got it. His
I will
new
say
name.
he's adorable, but he's a total perv. He keeps trying to get in our pants.
Marv the perv.
He keeps whispering
the perv.
sweet nothings in my ear.
Yeah. So Jonathan's also HR, and we have a complaint box, and it's filled up with all sexual harassment suits from Marv.
I thought those
It's
were just the
exhausting.
comments in all of our videos.
What's that?
It's exhausting.
It is. It is. He keeps having to do-
dealing with our bullshit.
Yes. No, I'm talking about Marv's bullshit with his.
All my
cases.
HR complaints about Peter, like his leg is touching my leg.
Yeah,
Stop
no,
it.
I don't read their complaints.
We're like
my
two
complaints are usually the same about each of them.
We're
Yeah.
like two little brothers, like sitting in the back seat, like on a car trip. Like,
What I would like to
"Mom,
know
he's touching
is
me."
if you have any complaints about me.
Yeah.
Talking about complaints about each other, but
I do have complaints. Do we need?
I
to
don't ever get any complaints about me in the
So do
suggestion
you want?
box.
I got a question. Do you want the complaints like in written form, or do you just want to
I'd rather
do
have
this
the
like face to
verbal
face?
confrontation.
All
Okay.
right,
You ready?
Yeah.
Peter first.
Okay. You know,
What a cop
I
out.
think you do a great job. I want to start off with the positives.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, but I think one of the things that really bothers me about you in the present, like, it's not so much the things you do, it's the person you are. like, I really wish you were different, like a different person. Like I hate you.
This is getting. I was like, this is getting deep.
But outside of that, bro, you're great.
And if I could finish his compliment sandwich,
Thank you.
because he gave you a bun, some meat, and I'm gonna finish it off. You're way too handsome to be hiding yourself under that beanie. You have too good a hair to be hiding yourself under that Tim
Let
pool.
me tell you right now.
Yeah.
You're not ready.
Oh,
It's not
shit.
ready
Don't-
yet. It's not
don't-
ready yet.
Don't play
It's
with
not
it.
ready
Don't
yet.
play with it. Just show it.
It's
It
not
doesn't
ready
matter.
yet.
Just
It's
show it
not-
off.
It's not
Just show it off, Devin Sawa.
It's not
Like,
ready. It's not ready yet.
Yeah.
Like, when it gets ready.
Maybe
you'll know.
maybe all the animosity that's coming from me is just jealousy.
First off, we've had good luck
Probably,
ever since I put the
possibly.
beanie on, and I'm a sports person, so I'm superstitious, so I'm keeping the beanie on for now.
Yeah.
I
Just
can
like
see
you've
it.
worn the same fucking hat every single fucking
Not true.
episode. Really?
Not true.
Okay, you know
One
what? Last
episode-
week you didn't wear it.
I was gonna say.
Fuck,
I was gonna
fuck
say.
me.
I was
Sorry.
gonna say. You made me switch the drip one
Let
time.
the record show Scott was
and
technically right.
and I haven't worn a black T-shirt in several
3
episodes.
episodes. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, because that was gonna be my thing. I was always gonna wear my Dallas hat and a black T-shirt.
Well, that
and
gets
then
boring
Jonathan's
after a
over here
while.
like fucking
Yeah,
switch
you're
it
gonna have to
up.
change your hat, bro.
I like this hat. I only wear this hat.
I'm not. It's not a disrespect to the hat.
Sure. I only wear this
mix
hat
it
on
up.
Sundays though when we
You
do
know
the
what you
podcast.
should do? You should get a hat, an Amp Theory hat made.
Oh, you know what we should do then? We should have somebody design us some merch.
I don't know if we're at that level yet.
I was thinking Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah, oh yeah, I'd be 100% down for that.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like a limited little thing.
Yeah, because we don't have
See
to
if
do
even
websites
people
and
would
shit.
buy it.
Yeah.
Even-
Not that we're trying to peddle shit to people.
Yeah, even
but-
though
So
our
my mom would buy some stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, probably my mom
Our
too.
parents fucking
Yeah.
buy all this shit.
Hey, it counts.
Yeah.
Hey, we got friends that would like give us sympathy buys.
Yeah, you think so?
That's
Yeah, I
true.
definitely think so.
Zach,
Yeah.
Sean, wherever he is.
Richard, maybe.
No, Richard ain't buying shit.
Yeah, Richard ain't buying
Richard
shit.
be
Never
like,
mind.
no. He's like, I got 2 kids and one on the way. I ain't buying shit from y'all unless we got into like the baby clothes market.
Ray, baby amp,
Ooh, baby ant, mini ant,
mini ampeenies.
and beanies. I don't know.
I heard my
That sounds like
ampeenies.
sounds like a fucked up Italian dish.
Yeah.
Give me some ampinis.
Ampinis.
These ampinis are fucking raw.
Hey, you know what's funny? Penne pasta, right?
yeah.
Penne
It's
is the
penne.
Spanish. Oh, penne. Well, penne is the fucking Spanish word for penis.
Oh really?
Yeah, penne
Wait.
is the Spanish fucking word for penis.
Oh, really?
So when you go in there and order some fucking dick pasta,
Oh.
I'm telling you right now, some dick pasta is good. If
Yeah,
that's what
you
it
like
means.
Hey,
With
do you
the
like
rest-
it like you like the Alfredo sauce?
I like.
Or do you like
I
the
like
meat
penne
sauce?
Pasta, okay.
Yeah.
We already established
I
on
bet he does.
we already established on a previous podcast that my favorite food is Italian food. So give me all the pasta.
That's
Just shovel it
fucking
in.
weird.
That's because you're like my brother and you only
Give
like
me all the
pepperoni
carbs.
pizzas.
Give me all the carbs. No, I don't fucking associate pasta with pizza. I'm not a fucking idiot like
same.
your brother
It's the
is.
same
You
ingredient.
were about to say you were down a what?
Look, James ain't watching this far in.
Speaking of James, he texted me today because I reactivated my Twitter. And I
saw that. I saw you followed me.
Okay, so I actually
You
had
can
to
follow
go
me
through.
at Uncle Daddy.
So I had to go
Plugging
through some shit because there was some not so nice things said in 2012 when I was young and dumb.
Oh,
And
I should have
I-
went and searched and
Ooh,
could
no,
have
you're definitely involved. I'd actually go back to like 2012.
What'd you say?
Clear your shit up.
My
You remember why you had to
my,
like, take out
my old
certain things
profile-
and why he had to take out certain things?
my old profile is locked. Nobody can look at what I posted back in the day.
All right, so look.
But I'll go through it.
All right, look. So y'all know me from back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Your boy used to be a little ghetto, right?
Used to?
All right. So I'm a little ghetto, right? Bro, I went to my
Poser.
fucking old Facebook, bro.
Uh-huh.
And I'm so embarrassed. And these motherfuckers don't fucking cancel it.
Oh,
I don't know.
Facebook is a different beast.
I don't know the password to it. I don't know, but I don't know who I was trying to fight and why I was talking so much shit. But your boy has a whole bunch of shit on there that I want it to be erased. I go in there and I try to erase it, like in the sense that like I report the profile. I don't have the password and I don't know what the fucking email is.
Yeah.
I can't fucking get into it.
You know, I kind of did something similar. I used to go back to like my MySpace a couple times just to get some pictures. And
I
I'm
can't
literally
get
looking for like
MySpace.
all the kind of shit that I used to talk on there. Cause like back then when you're like young, you could be like, hey, at so and so, fuck you.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna do anything. And then you just like talk shit online. It might escalate a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna talk about your mom. You can talk about their mom. Then you're like, hey, you know what? Meet me in the streets. And you're like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. You know what I miss? I miss being young and like fighting. Like now I got like as I'm older and I'm like, man, I don't want to like start messing with people because it's like you never know who has a gun and stuff like that, you know? I just miss a good old just fight, you know? Cuz like I feel like there's been a lot of shit that's happened.
Honestly, I'm going to disagree with you. I think just in general even fighting is stupid. I'm talking about like UFC, but like I'm talking about like fist fighting and shit like that. To me, especially like when you're kids, it happens all the time because you're fucking immature. But if you're like fist fighting people as an adult, like these motherfuckers that are fist fighting people in games, it's immature to me.
No.
Like,
Okay, so like I feel like it is immature, right? But I feel like at a certain point though, as two gentlemen, like
It's a duel.
It's a duel.
It's a duel.
As
It's
a
a
duel.
duel. It's a duel. It's a duel. It's not a fight. It's a duel
Yeah,
with fists.
not-
I guess I'm a bitch. I don't care.
No.
I
Like,
try to avoid conflict at all points, and it's
okay, so
I've
look,
lived
look,
to this
look.
point.
Look, there's some things, right, that happen that it's like, hey man, like you did this, you know that the appropriate response is us to just duke it out, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like
been there.
like
Like,
so.
like approaching like a bully, be like, hey, like you've been fucking with me for long enough. I'm gonna stand up for myself,
In
one
a
way or another.
In a way, right?
So
Because
were
look,
you always the bully,
When you're young, when you learn how to become a man,
or were you feigning being?
that's
the
what helps
bully?
mold and shape you. But you don't need to keep doing that when you get older.
but you do because okay,
But those
look,
moments are pivotal in your life.
okay, so let's just I'm
They
gonna put about something out there, right? And tell me that it's not appropriate to like duke it out, right? So let's say
Depends on the situation.
let's say you and another individual get into like a challenge, right? And like, you know, everything's just for this challenge, right? And everything that's said and done is just like this little thing, right?
Right.
And then one of the two individuals decides to go off and do some hoish shit, right? Like stuff that it's just like, you're a hoe.
No, he's not talking about me, but I know
Right?
who he's talking
No, I know,
about.
yeah.
And it's something that you can't, like, you as the other person involved, it's like, hey, like that had nothing to do with what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Now at this point, right, it's like option A, I go and do something to try to get you back, but then it becomes this back and forth thing, right? Now, okay, like that, I feel like that's immature because again, like, why am I gonna like do something out of my character because you did something that was out of the what's it called, the rules of engagement, right?
Yeah, there's always
these are the
rules of
rules of
engagement.
engagement.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna fuck with each other when it comes to this one thing that we're doing, right? Now, here,
But how many people on the street follow the rules of engagement?
Okay,
because
okay,
nothing
okay.
is
But-
more
but
nothing
no.
is more of a pussy move when it's two people one-on-one and then somebody else jumps in.
Okay,
So that's
no,
the
but that's-
biggest
so
pussy.
We're not
That's
talking.
not what I'm
Okay,
talking about.
he's
What-
not talking about physical contact at this point,
yeah,
right?
at this point,
the
we
rules
just have
of
like
engagement are, you know, it's a gentleman's agreement.
yeah.
It's kind of a duel because it is a challenge.
Yeah.
Nothing physical is supposed to happen.
Okay, I'll make it a little bit more like little. Let's say we're gonna play a basketball game, right? And it's me versus you, right? And in the midst of this basketball game, things are said, things are done, right?
Cross you up.
Yeah,
dunk
but
on
it's
you.
all basketball game, right?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I go and I find out that you fucking, I don't know, scratch my car, right? Now these are
Goddamn.
yeah. Now these are out of the rules of engagement, right? It's like, hey,
Right,
we went
right.
into a basketball game, we're talking shit, and now you did something. It's a little fucked up, right? Option A is then I go and try to get you back, right? And I go do something kind of petty, right? That's option
Right.
A, right? Where I'm saying that violence is appropriate, right? Is here. It's like, hey, look, I'm not the type of dude that's gonna go off and do something because you did it. Now, when in the midst of us playing this basketball, everything was good. Like, you know, we talked shit and we played the game. But now you've done something greater than that. So instead of me going back and forth, obviously you got a problem that's bigger than this basketball game. Let's settle it and let's just fight each other. And you know what? You might win, but I might win. But I'm gonna knock you in the fucking face for touching my car.
That's okay.
Is it not appropriate at that point?
Okay, I get that. I get that.
Yeah. And I'm not saying it's the solution that everybody would go, but I'm just saying it would be nice if that was probably still an option.
As my mom would say, you should take the high road, and then I like to
walk
correct
away.
her. I like to correct her and say sometimes taking the low road is a lot of fun.
But is that really the low road?
And it's necessary.
Yeah. No, but is it really the
You know
low
what I'm
road?
saying? Like taking the low road if you were to try to get them back in some kind of way.
It's not the low road.
Instead of confronting them directly.
Yeah.
It's not
Which
the
I think
low
in
road.
that scenario, in that particular scenario, that's warranted. Be like,
Yeah.
hey, motherfucker,
Yeah.
what the fuck you thinking?
Well, see, it doesn't even have to be like that. I would have to be like, oh.
I was gonna say like.
Just
it's
come
not
out
that-
the. You saying it wouldn't have to
Can
be
I
like that?
finish?
Just come out of the bushes.
Let me finish.
Knife him.
It's not necessarily the low road if like it prevents it from ever happening again, right? Because then it's a lesson, right? You're teaching him a lesson, or
Yeah.
this person, or whoever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lesson learned. They're never gonna fuck with you again, right?
Yeah.
They may never talk shit to you again either, but
Yeah.
that's their choice.
Now, and shit talking's okay, but here's why I think it's like a gentleman's thing. It's like, hey, look, man, we were doing this one thing, you did something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get it, cool, you did that, but you did that, right? Now, the only thing that would have to happen here is I'm not telling you, I'm not assuming that I'm gonna whoop your ass. You can whoop my ass. That's definitely a possibility, and that's a risk I'm willing to take. So if you're okay with it, let's fucking hit each other and get this fucking shit out, because
Yeah.
it's like you fucked up, and I'm not gonna be
Now
paying.
you gotta pay.
Yeah, and it's either gonna be paying by like getting a few shots, and maybe you might get your ass whooped, but you might not. Now, are you a bitch or you not a bitch? And that's, I feel, should be enough payment, because either he's gonna be like, you know what, fuck you, I'm gonna fight you, or he's gonna have to say, you know what, I'm just a bitch, and I think that's enough payment for you scratching my car, right?
Jonathan, you ever been in a position where someone's wanted to have a physical altercation with you?
Not really. No.
Never, not once.
I mean, there was the one time where you threatened to come beat my ass because I said, "Fuck you and everybody else. I'll come beat the fuck out of you, whatever the fuck you want."
So-
You acted like you wanted to come to my house. He acted like you wanted to come to my house. And he allegedly did, but he ain't do shit.
I never showed up.
Just like I said over the phone repeatedly, you ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit.
Hey.
And guess what? He didn't do shit.
Wait.
He talks about this one time he allegedly put me on my ass. But
No,
there's
that's
no video
100%
proof. There's
fact.
no photographic evidence
That's
of this.
100% fact.
But I can tell you multiple times where I've taken him down like as like an MMA wrestler, like easily, and like tapped him out.
Ground and pound tap?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Hey.
He can't handle my submission game.
No.
Next time you guys get in an altercation, you just need to send one message, 2 words. Pull up.
Oh,
Yeah, that's nice, right? Bro, I always feel like that's a good one. Like when like somebody's talking shit and you're just like, pull up. And that's it. That's all you say. Like, I feel like I would be intimidated. I'm like, oh,
It's like, what?
oh shit. You
pull up what? Don't pull up anything on me.
So, okay, there is a time. There's 2 times that we got into something. But the time where I put him on his ass, he came up behind me and tried to put me in a headlock. And this is when I was training.
Tried. I succeeded.
No, I was training to like do kickboxing at the time, right? And like the drill had been like knocked into my head. It's like someone comes up behind you, step behind, you do this little leg kick thing, and instead of hitting him in the nuts, I just like, elbowed him in like the sternum, and he fell down on the ground, shocked as fuck. He's like, "I'm a spina bifida, baby, you dick." What? And I don't even know what the fuck that is. But all I could do was laugh because I was like, "What?" I was like, "You attacked me."
Bro, you attacked somebody and got reversed on?
True or
So
false?
somebody was this bitch over here.
True or false? It happened.
Allegedly.
True or false? What happened?
True or false? Did OJ kill his wife? Allegedly.
He ran away. Hold on. He ran away in a Bronco, man. That's guilt
Did
to
you
me.
see the quote this week? How he said he doesn't want to go back to LA because he might.
Kill a bitch?
He might. No, he might. He's scared to interact with the real killer.
Was he gonna have like flashbacks?
That's nice.
He's gonna
I
revert
like
back
that.
to his old self.
I like that. I like
I wouldn't want to run into the real killer either.
Yeah.
My favorite, honestly, my favorite thing in the world is anytime OJ Simpson tweets.
The juice
It's like
is on the loose.
somebody like will respond like, "Wow, killer analysis, OJ." Wow, you killed it in this
That's
video.
funny.
Damn.
That's funny.
Or like if he tweets something about like somebody who has anything involved with like a woman, he's like, "Yeah, don't you think that bitch deserved it?" Or some shit like that. People
That's
are
wild.
ruthless.
He's like throwing it out in everybody's face, like, "Yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
What's up, Twitter
He
world?"
wrote a fucking book called "If I Did It."
Damn.
That sounds like a hot rap track.
What the hell?
I might have to get that on Audible. See what the fuck he's saying. Hey, so you know how you mentioned like, have you ever experienced somebody trying to like fight you and whatever?
Yeah.
So I had this situation at one of my old employments.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I was going into work, right? And they say you shouldn't drive through a parking lot. Well, I did, right?
So you were in the wrong. Okay.
Yeah. So I definitely was in the wrong, right?
Okay.
And so I was like just passing through the parking lot, and so where this I don't work there anymore. So where this T-Mobile was at is they had a grassy field on one side and a grassy field on the other. I had a Jeep, right? So your boy would just drive over it with my Jeep, and so like shit's normal. I just go through this parking lot, just through parking spaces and shit, and I go over this thing, and then I park, and I get out, and I'm just like getting out, and all of a sudden, this dude on the other side of this it's a small field, you know, not even 100 feet. He's on the other side, and he's like, "Hey!" I was like,
Bet you won't do that
I was
over
like,
here.
What?
What, sir?
Yeah, no, he was all like, right?
Getting
I'm
all
like,
mad at you?
Yeah, and I was like, what? And he's all like, and I was like, all right, I ain't worried, right? Motherfucker goes and he comes around, he pulls up, and he's all like, hey, motherfucker. He's like, you cut in front of me. And I was like, where? And he's all like, over there. I was like, oh, my bad, I didn't see you. And he came out like all bucked up and stuff, and I ain't worried about it, you know. I was like, my bad, I didn't see you. And I feel like he didn't know what was gonna happen after that.
So you just like
Look, he came out.
autopilot came up at you
Because you didn't back down. It kind of caught him off guard.
I wasn't worried, bro. But I also wasn't gonna let him get close. But he came out and he looked like this, but he wasn't close. Like he was like maybe from here to that thing right there. And so I was like, my bad, man. I didn't see you. Like I didn't do it on purpose, you know. And he's all like, man. He's all like, you need to watch out. I have my kid in the car. And I was like, yeah, okay. Well, I'm sorry, man. Like, yeah, like I didn't see you. Like I didn't do it on purpose, you know. He's all like, shit, you know. He gets in his car, and so I'm like, all right, I'll walk in, right. And I think like he was really tripping that I was like nonchalant about it. Like I don't care, you know. Yeah. And so I walked in, and one of the girls asked me, what happened? And I just remember turning around and telling her, I think I cut that guy off, and he was mad. And then I left. I went to the back to put my stuff up, right? Yeah. I don't know what they were saying before or afterwards or whatever. I come back out. This motherfucker's inside of the T-Mobile. And so I'm like, okay. And so I got to clock in. I'm not worried about this guy, right? I'm in there clocking in. And he's all like, yeah, like, I want to speak to your manager. So then he's like talking to the manager. And like, it happened real quick because she was like already on the floor and everything. So it's like, I'm over here like clocking in and stuff. And he's like, yeah, this guy did this thing, and then he's coming in here and he's making jokes and shit. And I was like, okay. Like, I don't know what they were saying or if they were laughing or whatever. Like, I wasn't there. I just, like, I was walking to the back. I'm always late to work, so I need to fucking get my shit there and then clock in because I'm already late, you know? Yeah. And so I'm like, at this point, I'm not going to say anything because it's like, this motherfucker just
what's
tripping.
The fucking point?
Yeah. And so I'm sitting there.
This motherfucker.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there and I'm doing this, right? And so my manager was like, well, look, it wasn't like while he was working. It was like nothing. If you want, we'll give you all the information to complain, but we can't do anything about it, you know?
Exactly.
And he's
so
all like,
he's really gonna complain about some shit to your manager that happened in the streets.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he's like sitting there talking shit, like, oh, I'm a fucking joke. He's like, I'll whoop your ass, and I go, like, I like when people talk.
Yeah.
I like when people talk. And they don't do nothing. I'm right here.
There's two type of motherfuckers. Motherfuckers that are talk and the motherfuckers that just do it. Yeah. And if a motherfucker is talking like he's gonna do some shit, either he'll eventually swing, but most of the time that's the dude that gets knocked the fuck out. Yeah. Because his mouth is bigger than his fist.
Now I do want to say I don't walk around like I'm not a bully. I don't walk around trying to fight people, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just not scared to get in an altercation. And I'm completely open with me getting my ass whooped. Like, it happens, right? That shit fucking happens. Now, I'm 33 and I'm not trying to get in a fight.
I've never had my ass whooped.
Yeah, like, I'm just not scared if I do get my ass whooped. People get their ass whooped. You know, like, it happens.
Never had your ass whooped?
Huh?
Never had your ass whooped?
I've had my ass whooped, but like it's been like training, not like.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, like in a real
I've
fight.
never
In a real fight, nah.
I've
Like,
never.
not like a sanctioned like boxing fight.
Nah, just in sparring.
Street fight.
No, I'm not a like you guys have been around me. Like I'm not a angry person, and I'm not like I'm not really confrontational.
Me either. I'm 6-0.
Yeah, but in times that I've had to like be like, hey, I'm ready to go. Like people just don't.
Scott, what's your record in the streets? Mine's 6-0.
With a peer, 1-0.
That happened in middle school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would never.
Scott was a fucking legend.
It would never ever happen again.
I heard about that. It was before me and you were like.
It was before we were friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Most of my fights happen sports related. Minus a couple of them.
So what had happened was there was a much bigger kid that I was friends with getting picked on by another equally as large kid.
Oh, I've heard this. I know who the people are. I've heard the story.
And I was like, "Hey, that's my friend." And he was like, "Well, after I fuck him up, I'll fuck you up too." I was like, "Let's do it now." And he was like, "Nah." For some reason, he like, set a pay-per-view day, right?
Yeah.
He's like, "Nah, we'll do it Friday after school." And I was like, "Yeah." So I actually showed up to school sick to fight this kid.
Oh shit.
No
excuses.
No excuses. I was like, okay, when people try to like build you up for a fight, it's like, "Oh, you're the best. You're the best. This.
You're
like,
the best.
Yeah.
Around.
They're like, "Nah, you're gonna fuck this person up," and you're like, "It's not really what I'm trying to hear right now. I want to hear the truth, right?"
Yeah.
So I was like, talked to my uncle. I was like, "What do you do when someone calls you out like in a fight?" And my uncle was like, "Who's picking on you?" I was like, "Nobody's picking on me, but I got a fight coming up."
Yeah.
I'm trying to emotionally train for this. He was just like, show up. It's like, if you show up, you're gonna know what to do. And I'm like, that's terrible advice.
Yeah, that's
like what?
Like,
so
we get.
So I go to school, and what's worse is like I also sat next to the kid that I was gonna fight after school in 7th period.
Oh no.
And where he fucked up was he was just talking shit to me the whole time, like in the class, like, when the bell rings, I'm gonna fuck you up. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, when the bell rings and we get out to the alley, I'm gonna kill you. Like shit like this.
Holy shit.
And I was like, and for some reason, every time that he like poked the bear, right?
Yeah.
I was getting like more irritated. Like I could feel like my eye twitching and shit.
Oh shit.
And so when I like walked out of school, I would just had that pure rage.
You were ready
and
to
so
go.
everything that my uncle had said, like, when you get there, you're gonna know what to do.
Yeah.
We were in the alley, and I remember he just like swung at me, and I went, "Whoa!" and just like caught him. I never caught him in the face because he's so much taller than me.
Yeah.
But I just like kept hitting him. I was like, if I hit him in the stomach enough, he's gonna like fall down and throw up. So that didn't happen. What happened was like I hit him. And he picked me up, and I remember, like, I'm a little kid, remember?
Yeah.
I was like, bop, 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 like hitting him in, like, his chest and his shoulders. Who was that really fat teacher that we had with the white hair? Mr.
Van Winkle? Coach
No,
Van Winkle?
he looked like he was built like Van Winkle. Mr. Border. So we had a teacher who was really heavy set, and his name was Mr. Border. He showed up in his truck and, like, stopped the fight. Yeah. And I was like, yoink! Like, I ran home, right?
Yeah.
And then so I'm at home and I'm like, I'm riding this high because I'm like, I didn't die. I didn't fucking get killed. Like this dude could have easily murdered me because he's so much bigger than me. And I get a call on my phone, and it's someone that I know that I'm friends with, and he's like, hey, dude's over at my house. You ready for round 2? I said, I'm like some little fucking like scrawny kid. I'm like, I'm on my way.
Oh
right?
shit.
Wow.
So all I had to do was go two streets over.
How cool did you feel in that moment?
I felt really cool because I got there and wasn't afraid, right? But again, I'm sick. And so in the middle of like round 2, like I remember he hit me a couple times and then I threw up, right? And I was like, hold on, I threw up. And then we went right back to fighting. And I remember
That's pretty dope.
It's something else that happened that my uncle said. Like it just kept coming in my head, like when you get there, you'll know what to do. Somehow he hit me in the face and busted my lip. And I stepped back and saw my blood. And it's like that, either like get out or get in.
I feel like in here it's like
You
know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what to do.
Yeah. It was
You
my
saw-
wax on, wax off moment, right? Yeah.
I think that's what they call seeing red.
I guess.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what happened was we finished the fight, like, and I just remember I was like, I'm not gonna stop hitting him until my arms like go limp.
Yeah.
And I hit him. I don't know how many times I hit him in like the stomach and the chest until he fell over.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't breathe. And then everything became clear again. I was like, oh shit! Like I killed him.
Bro,
I was
it's
like,
like your uncle told you, you'll know what to do. You fucking go, and then you fucking hit him right in the heart, bro.
Just bah!
Yeah.
Like Bruce
The hard
Lee.
punch.
Yeah.
So yeah, like when it like especially like and then to finish the story, like I felt really bad for him because he couldn't breathe, so I let him use my inhaler, and then I picked him up like with a couple other people.
Whoop somebody's ass. Hey, dog, here's my inhaler.
He's like, here's my inhaler,
So
bitch.
okay, so how you're laughing at me is the only thing that people make fun of me for. They're like, why did you help him after you beat him up?
Oh,
And
no,
I was
I'm
like,
not making fun of you. It's just funny that
no,
that happened.
No, but people were like fucking with me about it, right? They're like, why'd you help him after you beat his ass? I'm like, I felt bad.
Sportsmanship.
At that point. There you go.
I don't know if that classifies as sportsmanship, but
I mean,
respect.
I asked him. I was like, this is over, right? Like, this will never happen again, will it? And he's like,
No,
And then,
no, sir.
Damn, bro, that's fucking legit. He's like, hey, we good, right?
yes, sir. And like, nothing ever happened. Like after that, like he never fucked with me. Like no matter how much bigger than me he got, because then he like gained like another 2 feet on me.
Yeah.
Because he was already big, like when we were in middle school, but then he got like another 2 feet taller and only got like 6 inches taller, and still never got fucked with.
Yeah.
But
Scott's the tallest member of the podcast, by the way.
actually, hold on, I take it back. Like against peers, I'm 2-0. When I was a little kid, okay, this is a really short story. When I was a little kid, my uncle and his best friend, they hung out all the time, and my uncle used to babysit me, right? And my uncle's best friend's stepson thing, was always a little asshole kid, right? Mm-hmm. He'd be like, hey, like, come over and hang out at my house. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You got all the cool toys. Like, you can't touch any of my toys. I'm like, oh, you're a bitch. We went to Gaddyland, throwback, and I got little, remember the styrofoam airplanes? I got one. He's like, hey, let me help you with this, right? I'm like, cool, because I don't know how to put this together. He broke it in front of me. I was like, oh, this kid's a bully. So we're over there, and my uncle, like, they pit us together, like, we're, like, play fighting and shit. And I had a balloon in my mouth, and I was, like, fucking around, right? And my uncle, he's like, come here. Everybody go to your corner. So his friend had his, like, stepson.
Fighting them?
It was, like, in the living room. It was an empty upstairs room. And we were just fighting. Like, they just, like, pit us against each other. And so my uncle's like, hey, you need to get serious. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. He grabbed my balloon that I had in my mouth and, like, pulled it back far and let it go, and it hit me in the face. And, like, I, like, got mad. I started attacking him. He's like, no, take it out on him. And I turned around. That poor fucking kid. I was like, pop, 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 pop. I hit him so hard, like, in the back of the head that they had to call it.
Damn.
And then I felt bad again because, you know, after you quit
You gave him his inhaler, dude?
No. After what made me feel bad about that fight was, like, we're little kids, right? And then he ran into the bathroom and started crying, so he's gonna tell his mom. And I was like, dang, now I gotta play nice because, like, I'm about to get in trouble. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like when you pick on like a family member and you make them cry, and then you're like, oh shit, like I didn't mean it, I'm just kidding. That kind of situation.
I got you. Yeah, I never really fought too much in high school. So I played baseball. Were you ever there? Like, remember there was a couple twins?
The Ustins. I know about the Ustins.
Dustin and Justin?
Yeah.
Bro, I think one of them listens to the podcast. I'm not even kidding.
Really?
But, oh, dude, they were so... I'm sorry if you are listening. God damn, they were so fucking annoying. At the time, I disliked both of them.
We just lost a sub or two.
Okay, so...
I don't know if they do, but, man, they're cool now, but, like, at that time when we were in high school, bro...
Look,
oh
so
my God.
actually, I had no experience with them. I didn't dislike them. I didn't like them. I didn't know anything about them.
I only know them by the Ustins.
But I know that there were, like, people that disliked them, right? So at this time in varsity, and it started with me fucked up. It was my birthday, and it was spring break, but varsity baseball still had to go, like, practice. So I was in varsity, and they fucking...
Do you know about varsity baseball, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking about dogs.
I just want to be sure.
So it was my.
I was on varsity until I skipped school.
That's what. Okay, that's
I
what it
failed my
was.
6 weeks and I was ineligible.
Yeah.
That's why I asked.
Yeah.
So,
I just wanted that admission.
I was in at this time I think I was in athletics, so it's like it was one of my periods, like and
You
so
were on your
it was
period?
it was a spring break, and so we went. It was my birthday, and we were practicing, and then next thing you know, people found out it was my birthday, and the bigger guys were like, "Oh, it's your birthday? Oh, we're gonna have to jump you," and I'm like,
Put a
"Fuck
finger
that
in your
shit."
ass.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like that.
Whoa,
I don't know
brother.
what
wait.
kind of sports you were playing.
You never got in trouble? You never got pinky in there?
No.
That's a deep cut, Jonathan. You don't know nothing
You don't
about.
know nothing about that, bro. That's called discipline.
Nothing about no pinky and no ass came from this side of the. Nothing about no pinky and ass came from this side of the room.
I don't know, bro. I thought that was how white people discipline their kids. With
What
that
the
pink.
fuck?
No?
No.
You been lying to me?
Wait, what?
No, so
Well, you never.
What am
you
I
never-
missing here?
You never been in so much trouble instead of a spanking, you just got a pinky in the ass?
that never happened to you?
No?
I guess we come from different sides of the tracks.
We come from a different cloth.
Yeah.
Are you trolling right now? Or are you dead ass?
I'm crying. I'm crying. You never, like, for real, like,
Bro, you ain't never been in that much trouble? We're the only solution?
hold on.
What is that? Why is that a final solution? Why is that even a thought?
Hold on. When was the last time you got a spanking?
I was like fucking 7.
Well, what
I
happened?
think the last time I got pinky in the ass, I was like 12.
Bro. Well, that was outside of high school.
Wait.
Because in high
You
school,
talking
it happened all the
about
time.
no female ain't done no pinky?
No, this is like, hey, like you
'Cause it
got.
has to be an adult. Because it's discipline.
This is a you got a 60 in math.
No,
and you failed the 6
I'm
weeks.
not. We're not playing this fucking. Are you joshing me or?
I don't know how to. I
You dead ass right now.
really,
You dead
I really
ass.
don't know how to like.
I mean, do you want the truth?
You can't handle the truth apparently because of the way you're acting.
If you want the truth, it might have not been a pinky.
It might have been a full-on 2-knuckler middle finger.
I need another beer.
No, so we're
No, are you joshing me?
we joshing.
Yeah, I'm fucking with you.
All right. So anyway, we were okay. So it was back in high school, right?
Look on your face like you were serious.
Okay, hold on. Before we continue, I'm sorry. Peter and I, we have a thing where we like talk to each other.
Put your fingers up each other's asses.
No, not this. That's what he's talking
not
about.
on this occasion. But what we do is like we'll call each other and we'll talk about some shit and we'll try to think of something that's really not funny and try to find a way to make it funny. And in this roundabout way of like us just talking shit, somehow we were talking about discipline. I was like, yeah, you ain't never had a pinky in your ass? And Peter, like you, was like, what? I was like, you never been in so much trouble that instead of a spanking, you got a pinky in your ass. And then
God
like
damn,
how
dog.
we laughed.
It was hilarious. It was good,
that's
and
what
we
happened.
found a way to put it into the podcast.
Finally.
No, I should just get my ass whooped.
Ass licked? What?
No, my ass whooped. For the time I called my mom a bitch, or like when I would like talk back, like, fuck you.
Yeah. And then you get your ass
My
whooped.
dad, it would always be, my mom would never spank me, but it would only be afraid, I would only be afraid when my dad would take off his fucking belt. And then I knew like, oh, I was real fucked. My sister used to get more spanking. She was a badass fucking teenager.
got
She was a little asshole.
Yeah.
Like she used to be one of those kids.
There
That
goes
she used to
another
get her.
side.
She used to get her phone taken away all the time. Underneath her bed, she had stash like phone she could just plug back into the wall, so she could call Joe later.
So
at
she
night.
had trap phones?
Yeah, she had multiple trap
Oh
phones.
my
All right. Okay. Question though.
Because my
This,
dad's a telephone guy, so he had all kinds of fucking phones. She would just stash them under her bed. So my dad one time pulled up her bed and found all the phones underneath there. Like, oh motherfucker, you know how my dad is.
Your dad is most scary when he used to call you like, son, it's about to rain. You better come home.
Dude, he still does that. If there's like a bad storm and he knows I might be out, he'll call me like, you probably should get home. There's gonna be some bad storms. I was like, Dad, stop it. I was like, I'm already paying attention to the weather already. I was like, your fear you instilled in me makes me watching the weather all the fucking time now. I was like, it worked.
That's what
it's
dads,
okay. You don't have to call
That's what
me.
dads do, man. Like that shit like had me like shook every time. I'm like, oh shit, a storm's coming. Because your dad knew before fucking Troy Duncan knew.
Remember that time that we were in a fucking tornado in Allen together, and we had to go inside that fucking fitting room closet?
Oh, yeah.
That shit was fucking terrifying. No, I went to go visit Scott.
Yeah,
no,
I know.
I went to go visit Scott at fucking work, and like thinking like, oh, I'm gonna hang out with my buddy, and all of a sudden we're in the store getting ready to close up. I'm like, oh, tornado warning, like less than a mile away. So we had to run to this other store and get inside a fucking fitting room closet with like 6 other people.
Yeah.
Damn.
For like 20 minutes. It was terrifying.
Sounds like an orgy.
Fun pinky in the ass situation.
Oh, okay, there you go.
During a tornado, I couldn't even think straight.
That's why you didn't even feel it.
Yeah, exactly. But we were over there like doing Twister quotes and shit. We
Yeah,
got cows.
Another cow. I actually think that's the same one.
The extreme.
Extreme. Food.
Food.
Food. Food. R.I.P. Phillip Seymour Hoffman.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Not his best role. His best role is in Along Came Polly.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
When he plays Ben Stiller's best friend.
Oh.
Rain dance.
He's like, we gotta go.
Like
out to
that one
Charlotte.
scene where Ben Stiller has the pizza and he's like dabbing the pizza off. He's like, "What are you talking about, bro?" And he starts dripping all the oil on his pizza. Like, that's the best part.
I feel like that was you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wendy would do that with her pizza. I'm like, no, give me that shit. And I'll drip it all. I'm like, it's the best part. What are you doing?
That's cute.
That's why you look greasy.
I have beautiful skin. I have beautiful silky hair. Fuck off.
Grease.
Grease.
Yo, greasy boy.
Oh, grease lightning over
No
here.
fucking
I take
greaser.
shit. This is something we can talk about, which has been a fucking hot topic.
Ooh,
Because
here's
me
a hot
personally,
take. Here's a hot take. Here's a hot take.
me
Go for it.
personally, I like to sometimes take 2 showers a day.
2?
This, yeah.
What are you
I'll
taking
take-
2
I'll take-
showers for if you're clean?
I've taken 2 showers.
Thank you.
I like
so,
2 showers.
No. But this new trend of celebrities not showering.
What?
That's nasty.
Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh.
A couple different actors have been like, "Oh, bathing isn't absolutely necessary every single day," and stuff like that. And let me just tell you right now, you need to wash your fucking ass.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Let me tell you right now, especially in heat, especially in Texas.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't go more than like 6 hours without being like, you know what? I need
Is
to
this-
wash my
hold on,
fucking
hold on,
ass
hold on.
because
Is
I
this
walked
real?
outside just to take the fucking trash out and I'm fucking sweating.
Hold on. Is this real? Is this like?
It's 100% real.
Okay. You're
100%.
okay. You're telling me it's real, but is it like, hey, like we're just kind of like trolling the community, like saying that we don't bathe?
No. They think like Jake
No.
Gyllenhaal's quote was something about like organically, like, oh, you have a lot of oils in your skin that actually is good for you.
Yeah.
Wash your ass. I don't know how many times I have to
Look.
say this. Wash your ass.
Nah, but here's the thing about celebrities, right? These motherfuckers probably don't eat too much, right? They're fucking skinny as fuck, right? So they're probably not eating a lot, so they're probably not shitting all day. These motherfuckers have the easiest life in the world, so they're probably not even fucking going outside for a lot of shit. So if I'm a fucking celebrity, I might not.
Well, in turn to that,
No.
The Rock came out and was like, I'm just gonna let you know, I'm a 2 shower a day man myself. Like,
Hell yeah.
cause you know why? Cause he's a real motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
Why?
You know what?
Because
Two-
he
two
came
showers
from the
a day is
bottom.
good.
He knows the importance of like, man, like I need to get me a shower and like
I'm
so I
a-
can
okay.
smell good.
Okay.
And like, first off, you need to wash your ass because
Uh-huh.
men, you're not gonna get a woman, and ladies, a man don't want to deal with that.
Look.
A real man, some
We don't want a stinky cooter.
That's a great point.
Jonathan likes licky bum bum, right? And if you don't bathe,
You cannot confirm or deny that.
and if you don't,
can.
I'm like hitting. Oh my god!
You know
And
what?
if
You
you
know
don't,
what? You know
and if
what?
you don't bathe,
You know what? You know what? That's fair.
Hey.
You know what? I'll admit it right here on the podcast.
Oh,
I'll admit it right here on
shit.
the podcast. But you know what? At least
Bro,
I've
you
never.
going to Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory?
No. At least I've never had my ass licked, Scott.
He got the golden ticket?
At least I had his ass licked. I'm saying, yeah. You
Okay,
can call out
hold
my
on.
shit.
Hold on, hold
Talk
on,
about that
hold
I was a
on,
dog
hold
previously,
on.
and I've never said
Hold
shit.
on, hold on.
So that was 2 you got on me. So now I got 1 on you, Scott.
there's a
enjoyed
difference.
it.
Asshole lick?
All right, hold on,
Not
hold
just
on.
once.
Before,
Not just
before
once
there's
either.
before there's any admission of guilt, I've never licky bum bummed, but in the heat of the moment, I have had my leg. I have had my leg pushed further to the side than I would care for, and I have had licky bum bum on me.
This motherfucker was like this.
No. No.
Oh, Charlie Horse.
Fuck you. No. I didn't want to ruin the moment, so I just let it happen, right? But I don't know what it is with ladies in 2020, 2021 who are like, hey, spread them cheeks.
Call me Charmin because I'm about to clean that ass off.
You know what? This is actually coming full circle because no matter if you enjoy eating bum or getting your bum eaten, the most important thing out of this is that you need to wash your ass and you need to shower.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, nobody's going to eat your ass.
Hey, there's that one song, he better eat the booty like groceries. And bro, you eating groceries, bro.
Janae Aiko, yeah.
That's okay. I'm the guy that carries all the groceries all at once, motherfucker.
Oh man.
That's fucking...
So I was joking about you, Licky bum, but hey.
I mean, it wasn't a joke, but
yeah.
And you already know that, so fuck you. This is already an hour deep in the
hey,
podcast.
Look, it's 2021, guys. We can play with our assholes, all right?
Hold on. But this actually goes. Jonathan has set precedent, like that. He's way ahead of his time. Like with Licky Bum, with I get one a week being a dom, things like that.
I already just said
like
it,
established. Okay. Jonathan in 2005 or 2006, I can't remember. I asked him because he was being.
Yeah, we talking about before we even got into the tangs.
Yeah. So.
Oh, 6 is when we graduated high school.
Yeah. So it was like 06, 07 maybe, right? Somewhere in that time frame, in the early 2000s.
You been in assholes since then, bro?
Jonathan and I were with we were a duo with a duo, and Jonathan went off and did his own thing. And at the time, my man's had that V card. And so like the biggest question is like when you're still like that young, like, oh my god, did you lose your virginity? And I'll never forget the
God, Wendy's not watching.
He said, kinda. I was like, the fuck do you mean, kinda? And he's like, well, I don't know about you, but I like to lick me a clean asshole.
That's fucking great.
So
bro, you're a fucking legend,
you
bro.
You are a trailblazer. You
Hell
are a
yeah,
trendsetter.
bro. You a young pioneer.
That's what I'm talking about, dog. Can't fuck with me.
Hell no, bro.
You know what? Respect.
Why are you not?
That's why, like, I'm not ashamed of any of this shit. Like,
yeah.
You know what? God, I know my parents don't listen this far into the podcast, so we're fine.
Yeah, we're like a few minutes in.
But your mom's gonna be like, Jonathan, what's Licky Bum? And your dad's gonna be like, Becky.
So is that kid show on Netflix? She's like, no, mom, that's Coco Melon.
No, look.
Yeah, I've done that shit too, anyways.
The moral of the story is you can't be afraid.
You can't be afraid.
Don't be a selfish lover.
Expand.
Nobody
your
likes a
horizons,
selfish lover.
but
Experiment, and guess what? Look, we're all gonna die one day.
You don't
try to eat some ass. At least once.
At least
you can't
once.
say it's just like I say like, oh, I don't like certain foods. Well, I can't technically say it until I try it. You can't say you don't like eating ass until you actually do it.
I like his logic.
Same thing with getting your ass eaten. Scott, I don't want to leave you out, but I've never had it done, but I'm open to it. Fuck, I don't give a fuck.
Hey, it tickles.
Hey, is that a you leaving breadcrumbs, bro?
We're about to lose so many subscribers in this episode.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
I'm not gonna tag this as anything special. We're just gonna let this get organic views.
Watch
low key, bro, low key.
Watch Licky Bum become like the new thing.
Hey, talk about licking assholes.
No, I don't want.
You know, okay.
No.
I want to get off of this subject.
Yeah, just bring it back to like bathing.
No. Look. So I did something today that I hadn't done in a long time, and I just want to bring it up. But
that's a weird segue.
Yeah,
I wonder which one it is.
Segue. So I listened to Amy Winehouse today. Long time.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Amy Winehouse, bro. You forget how fucking great she was, bro.
She was great, yeah.
Did you ever watch that documentary on her life?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so tell me this isn't the saddest fucking thing in the world, bro. And I wanna use this as a topic to talk about other things. But so you know she was like fucking doing heroin and shit, right? She was doing like fucking drugs and stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not laughing at that. Scott just gave me an evil look like he's so mad.
Yeah. I'm not mad. I just thought we had
Keep
that
it
moment.
fucking moving.
I just thought we had a moment.
He looked mad at me.
I'm not mad.
No,
I'm gonna hear it after this.
So anyways,
No.
she was with she was with this dude. They had a toxic relationship. They were doing drugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
The crazy thing about it, right? She writes this fucking amazing ass album called was it Back in Black, right? Back to Black or something like that. Yeah, I think that's what it was. And so, or at least that was the name of the song. So the thing about it, she writes a song about this toxic ass relationship, right? She gets over the dude, right?
Back to Black. You're right.
Yeah. She goes and the fucking album wins Grammys, does big things, right? Well, she's like basically writing this music about this like toxic relationship, and it's like, it was bad, but there's a way of getting it out. Us as fans take that album and we're like, wow, this is one of the best albums ever written, right?
Yeah.
So she then goes to rehab and she gets better, right? She comes back to start performing. What do we want to hear? We want to hear this shit, right?
Yeah.
She starts performing it again and it starts triggering like all these back feelings, right? She relapses into her drug use. Plus, I think she was anorexic and all that stuff, right? And a combination of all these things end up killing her, right?
Yeah.
So then I start thinking, right? Remember back when we were talking about Britney?
Oh yeah, Britney Spears. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's
Great update. Her father stepped down as a conservator.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, I mean, it would be a great deal whenever she can just have her own life.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is that is sometimes we become fans of these people, right? And it's like they give us this art and they give us like this piece of who they are, but it's like in a weird way we end up like kind of affecting these people's lives. In the thing of Amy Winehouse, she like used music as an avenue to get over certain things. We fall in love with it, but then our love ends up being a reason why she ends up dying. The same thing with Britney, right? It's like she gave us this music and people loved it, and this love and attention. Like, it wasn't the fact that we just loved the music, but now we're trying to get all up in their lives and all this stuff, right? And that ends up being one of the downfalls. Like, would she have really lost it as bad as she lost it if we mind our own fucking business and just listen to her music?
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy.
One of the biggest problems with just people and celebrities, especially artists and stuff like that, is we stop looking at them as human beings. We just think of them as entities. Somebody who gets a massive amount of fame, like a Britney Spears, or somebody. Like,
those people,
you don't really think about I wonder what that's doing on from day to day, like what kind of toll that's doing on their psyche, their just mind and their body, just everything. Like, put yourself in their shoes. Like, think of if you're performing, like you're having to go to multiple different cities a year and perform and dance and do all these kind of things and sound perfect every night because you don't want to sound shitty for your fans.
Right.
There's all this kind of different shit. And same thing with actors. Like, you just think of them as oh, they're pieces, they're this, and instead of actual human beings. And a lot of times you just kind of lose that human element when you're
that's why people get
watching something.
That's why people get so starstruck, because they put these artists, these actors,
and they put people on a pedestal because they see them on TV and they're like, oh, this is
It's like
I wish I could aspire to that.
It's like Robert Downey Jr., right? Like, he made Iron Man so famous that a lot of people don't see him as RDJ. They see him as Tony Stark.
Yeah.
These people become so synonymous with these characters that they've played or these albums that they've put out that nobody really cares about them as the person. They care about them as the artist or the character.
When I was younger, I remember it took me by surprise because I had seen Forrest Gump so many times as a kid, but I didn't know who Tom Hanks was, the actor. I'm a kid watching that movie.
That was your first Tom Hanks movie?
Yeah, well,
really?
But I love that movie.
Get big and shit.
Yeah, Turner and Hooch.
Turner and Hooch.
That's in the '80s. Anyways, but when I realized oh, Tom Hanks is not like this. It was kind of one of those things. It was one of those first moments where I was where I separated the art from the person. Yeah. And I was oh, okay. Because there's a lot of movies where you realize an actor was in something I never realized that until later in life that Marlon Brando was in the first Superman.
Oh yeah, he was
because you don't even think about that he
was Jor-El, yeah.
Yeah. And oh wow, yeah. So it's
I
think we lose sight of that and we lose track of that there's a difference between a character and the actual human. And the actual human has emotions and feelings and all that shit.
Speaking of
and
Tom
Amy
Hanks,
Winehouse is, bringing it back to that. that I can just imagine the pressure of like, man, this is where I was at my peak and everybody loves this, but I know that what this does to me, like, that's a weird mind fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, speaking of Tom Hanks, I got pee.
Oh. Well, what the fuck, dude? You gonna fuck all this shit up?
All you gotta do is move your mic.
Hell nah, bro.
We mean like crawl over you? Crawl under you?
Bro, you better fucking,
Like some Legends of the Hidden Temple shit?
Front flip over this shit.
I'm not man enough to front flip. I'd cartwheel. It's the best I can do.
Hell no.
We're at an hour and 10 minutes, you know. Can't hold it for another 15, 20?
Oh, no. Not for another 15 to 20. Maybe for like another 5.
Shit, you can crawl under here if you want, bro.
I got like a child's bladder.
Oh.
You want a bottle?
No.
You want to...
No, y'all keep talking. I got to pee.
All right. Well,
Jonathan, you talk. I got to pee.
Anyways, it's okay. I'll be able to cut. I'll cut it over to me real quick since guy's such a bitch. You know.
What? No, but no, man. The thing I think too is that like, kind of like, piggybacking on what you were saying about like us seeing these celebrities as bigger. It's like, you know, it's not just all the things you hold the celebrity to. When really, I feel like the only things that we should be talking to, what's that fucking Iron Man motherfucker's name?
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. about is acting.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only thing he should be talking.
Because he's played multiple different roles. Like before he was even like what was weird. Like of course Iron Man and Sherlock Holmes came out like the same year, but like I was like, oh, Sherlock Holmes. Like originally it wasn't Iron Man, but of course you know it took over. But really at the same time, like he's done so many different things.
Yeah.
He's not just Iron Man. That may be just what he's most well known for. But
yeah.
a lot of people can't understand the difference.
Yeah. Well, no, what I'm thinking is like, but what I'm saying is, people are usually just masters of 1, 2, maybe 3 things, if that, if you're really good, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like us with celebrities, we hold these people to higher standards that it's like, we don't just get the information we should be getting from these people. We ask them to educate us about other things. I think that's one thing that we need to stop. You know, like, you know, if Amy Winehouse was alive and she's talking about singing, listen to that shit. If she's talking about politics, maybe not listen to her.
That's something that blows my mind, that people listen to celebrities when it comes to politics. Like, bro, just don't. Okay, listen. First off, you shouldn't listen to just any like random person. Like, look, a celebrity is famous because they're an actor. They're not famous because of their political opinion. So why the fuck would you listen to their political opinion? Because at that point, they're just another motherfucker. Yeah. Would you just listen to one of us about our political opinion and take it word for word? Yeah. No. So why the fuck would you listen to a celebrity just because they act? They don't have any political standing or like knowledge, you know, about the shit that they say. Like, I hate the glorification of celebrities because all it does is it ends up like giving people a false perception of like what reality is, and like it like helps people like live in this fucking fantasy land. And it's weird. It's real fucking weird.
Yeah, no, it is. And
this like idolization, like I get it, like how K-pop artists are called idols and stuff like that, but the idolization of celebrities, like at least here in America, is so strange.
Yeah, no, it really is, and I don't like. You just brought up K-pop. I mean, it's not just an American thing. It is definitely all around, but it's like these people aren't experts in everything. They are just what they are. You know?
And they just have a platform, so that's why people, I guess, believe, and if you want to go, these celebrities have a platform, so people just automatically assume that with power, and I think that's why people listen to celebrities for advice and political opinions and stuff like that, because just they have that platform. Like, when somebody has a platform, and it even comes with, like, YouTube, like, you think, like, the people that have, like, the highest number of subscribers and views and stuff like that, like, they have more power because they have that platform. They have, like, a fan base behind them. And, like, how much money and viewership that draws to YouTube, you know, they're going to handle their problems first. Like, if they put in a copyright claim, like, they're going to get taken care of way before we do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's how people, like, think of celebrities, but you're not going to go to a YouTuber and think like, hey, what's your political opinion? I'm going to follow that religiously. And if you do, you're being stupid.
And
you need to formulate your own opinions.
Yeah, and then going back to how you were saying that, like, there's this fantasy world that we live in, man. I feel like that's the biggest thing that's going on right now with social media. I did something today, and I kind of want to know y'all's opinion about it and see about which way, if I'm looking at this wrong, right?
All right.
But I was trying to think, okay, like what percentage of Americans have gotten this virus, right? So I grabbed the total number of cases, right? And so I think the formula is if you're trying to figure out what percentage of a number is, if you get A and you're trying to see what percentage A is of B, you have to divide A by B, right?
Right.
So I got A, which is the total number of cases that there were of COVID, right? Since it came over here to now, all of them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the population of the U.S. And I divided the total number of cases by the population of the U.S.
It's not that much.
And it's, I think like 1%,
Yeah.
right?
And the mortality rate is even lower than that.
Exactly. So actually, the mortality rate of all the people that have gotten COVID, if you do the same mathematics, is at 1%.
And look, we're not fucking doctors and we're not scientists, but also here's the other thing, and this is legitimately, you can go look this up right now. Go look at total flu cases, at least in 2020. It's like almost close to zero compared to the flu didn't go away.
Yeah.
But there's no doubt a lot of the cases of the flu they're counting as COVID.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, COVID is very real. It's very much real.
Yeah.
We've had friends that have had it. My grandfather passed away due to COVID. You know, it's a very real thing. Mm-hmm. But it goes back to like how people listen to celebrities, but people listen to the news religiously too, and that's even more dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you turn into the news somewhere like CNN or Fox News, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what fucking side it's on. They're all trying to feed you what you want to hear. And it's called confirmation bias.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what side of the aisle that you're on. If you're a hardcore liberal, CNN's going to say, oh, this, and this, which they like to play into the fear-mongering aspect.
Yeah.
I've noticed this because I like to flip back and forth. I like to go to Fox News and then CNN, just see what they're talking about.
Oh, yeah. You have
For
to.
the longest time, you would see Fox News is like talking about actual news stories, and I'm not saying Fox News is this great place because it's not.
It's not.
But they actually will talk about different news and shit that's going on, even shit that's overseas, like stuff that's to our interests, a national interest and stuff like that. Turn it over on CNN. Most of the time, they were either talking about Trump, and then with the coronavirus shit, every single day. And like, I bet you if you turn it on right now, they'd have it on the right hand side, coronavirus pandemic, and they'd have all those numbers up to just constantly throw in your face and fearmonger to the fucking people that don't know any fucking better.
Yeah.
The people that just take the news as what it is, and the not the weak, vulnerable people, but the people that don't really know and don't really look into it. They just take word of mouth because you want to trust the news.
Yeah.
You would think you can trust the news.
Yeah.
But people have fucking agendas, especially these bigger news organizations.
Yeah.
So they plaster the fucking fear-mongering
Yeah.
all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Which in turn is making everybody afraid and on edge all the fucking time.
Well,
and the other side does it too. Fox News is the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the Democrats are doing this.
Yeah.
They're doing
Your
this.
freedoms are gonna be
They're doing
taken
this.
away. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
gonna take away your gun rights. They're not gonna secure the border. They're gonna do this.
Yeah.
They're gonna do that. They're playing to the people. I grew up in the car with my dad listening to Rush Limbaugh. He listened to Rush Limbaugh every fucking day that man was alive.
Yeah.
And I would listen to the shit he said even as a kid. And a lot of the times, partially, it skewed my ways of thinking when I was younger. Because that's all I knew because of what my dad was listening to and stuff like that.
Yeah.
As I got older, I started working with him in my early 20s. And he was still listening to it. I would listen to it and I'm like, well, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like, I know that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's just saying that to get you riled up. And I would sit there and tell him that, and then he would start to think like, oh, wow. But like, I know he's his own certain way.
Yeah.
But that's what started to get me like, oh, because you didn't really hear until really right before Trump. You didn't hear like, oh, CNN is so far left, and Fox News has always been kind of lean conservative, but like it wasn't like how it is now.
Yeah.
But I could see then I was like, oh, this is just bullshit. That's what, like, I could see my dad and how he reacted to shit. Like, oh, they're just pandering to people because this is what people want to believe and hear.
Yeah.
So it fuels that fire within them.
Yeah.
Like, they're just playing sides.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's 100% because, like, once I pulled up those numbers, and I did that, like, when COVID first started, and I was like, oh, shit, you know, like, I need to know. But the thing is that like we all are taught basic mathematics, and then also you can look the shit up. I'm not fucking smart, you know. I looked it up and I figured out what the percentage are, and it made me feel better. And not just that, but one thing that like younger generations like us, we don't remember a time without 24-hour news broadcast. And what a lot of people need to know is that there was a time that this didn't happen. Now you got to think, these people have investors. These people sometimes are privately owned or traded on the stock market, right? And the thing is, it's all about attention. So there's not a lot of shit going on in the world, and when there is, you could probably have a small segment about it and have the information out and just replay that shit, and every time there's an update you could do that. But these people need to get time, and so what they're doing is that they boast up the news. They make it to where something's going on all the time because they need people to watch, and that's what the fuck is going on. 24-hour news is new, and they're doing their best to try to keep you on there. So the saga of COVID, the saga of Afghanistan, the saga of all these things, like even
the
Donald
saga
Trump,
of Trump, even though he's not even in office anymore.
Yeah, Donald Trump hasn't been in office.
If you look at CNN's fucking ratings, ever since Trump lost the election, they are they not only cut in half, but like cut 3/4 of what they used to get.
Yeah.
So they still fucking talk about him, and they still bring it up because their ratings are so fucking low. When Trump was in office, all CNN would do is every fucking day, Trump, 24 hours a day. He's not in the picture anymore, and it's still, well, fuck, now our ratings are really in the toilet. And like, we gotta find what pops the ratings, what angers people, what gets people riled up.
And what pops the rating was Donald Trump. And that's the biggest thing, man. It's like, again, like I've mentioned this before, is that people not believing the news, that was like fucking a minority thing. Like not trusting politicians and not trusting the news, that was our fucking thing. Donald Trump comes in, right? And all of a sudden, like I said, they bamboozled us. He started saying fake news. And now it's a white thing that people don't like look at the news. If people say the news is lying, you must believe in Trump, right? But it's like, I was having this conversation today with my in-laws, right? It's because the whole Afghanistan shit came out and the whole 9/11 shit came out, right? And we were talking about how the shit happened. The guys that did the whole 9/11 things were from Saudi Arabia, but we're going to war with Iraq and Afghanistan. And it's like everybody accepts that there's shady shit going on. Yet these people that the only thing they did to earn their position was win a popularity contest.
Oh, they're trying to blame all the Afghanistan shit. One side is trying to blame it on Trump. One side is trying to blame it on Biden.
Yeah. But here's the thing: is we can agree that politicians have fucked this whole shit up, and they're corrupt. And these are the people that we're putting in charge to tell us what we need to do with our health, when we could just pull up the numbers, check the population, and just be like, hey, you know what? Like, this is something, like, does it exist? It does. Has it killed people? It has. But isn't it my responsibility to do whatever the fuck I want to do? It's my right to either wear a mask, to not wear a mask, to get vaccinated, to not. It's all about rights.
Exactly.
You know? And it's fucking crazy. So the Dallas judge went against the governor's.
And then Greg Abbott won a case in the Texas Supreme Court today, and it overruled the Dallas County rules.
Yeah.
So yeah, we back to no masks.
That was a couple hours ago. Yep.
Yeah. So and this is the thing, is that like it's starting to become, because I think there's more.
I mean, it was already in businesses. It was the employees had to wear masks.
Yeah.
But it was encouraged for people. You didn't have to wear a mask. It even says in the legislation, I wrote it, nobody's going to be fined or arrested or anything if you don't wear a mask. But it's heavily encouraged. But still, they overruled that.
And I feel like if you want to, there's no reason that people should like make fun of you or talk shit to you. Like, if you want to wear a fucking mask, wear the fucking mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, though, that's also up to you. If I care about it, my ass is putting on a mask.
Since we already spilled the beans a couple weeks ago before I got my first vaccination shot, I went to AEW Dynamite in Garland with 4,000 fucking people in the building. Was unvaccinated, didn't wear a mask. Nobody in the fucking building wore a mask. Totally fine.
Yeah. Because again, if you look at the numbers, 1% of Americans are going to get it. It's been constant.
And I can guarantee the motherfuckers around me did not have a fucking vaccine.
Yeah. And
it's not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not a big deal, but like, I feel like the over obsessive fear mongering is what freaked everybody the fuck out.
Yeah.
It still freaks people the fuck out.
So I'm gonna stay in my lane. Like, y'all know a lot more about politics than I do, but I
really don't.
I could talk from
take my political advice.
I could talk from like that 1% who has had COVID.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about people that had COVID. You've had COVID.
Yeah, I might not have had it as bad as like some other people because there is a smaller percentage of the people who have died. I had like 102 temperature for 8 days. I had a migraine level headache for 8 days. I had like extreme sickness for like 8 days. Painful tingling sensations going up and down my spine, threw up, shit like that. Things I never thought would happen to my body. Lost my smell, lost my taste, all that kind of shit. I never once thought I was gonna die, but you know, come day like 6, you start having these like conversations like with yourself, like, am I ever gonna be normal again? And that was like my biggest fear about COVID more than anything. I never thought I was gonna die. I could always breathe and shit like that because like, I knew, you know, this is what the news tell me. It's like, oh, like, we gotta put these people in, intubate them because they can't breathe and shit. If I walked around the house, like I'd get a little out of breath, but it was never to the point where I was like, I'm gonna fall down dead. That never crossed my mind. The only thing from having COVID that like made me feel like any kind of way was I was concerned I would never be the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. So during this pandemic, like I've had to work. Like I'm the only breadwinner in my family, you know, and I got a big family. So like I had no choice. I have to work. If there's work to be done, I got to do it, you know. And I've worked throughout this whole thing. If somebody had to go to the grocery store, it was gonna be me. You know, like my life has not really changed outside of having to wear a mask. And I've been everywhere. So the likelihood of me having contracted it is super high. Yeah. And there has been times during the pandemic where I had like a fever for a day and then all of a sudden
kind of freaked me out and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I had a fever for a day.
It's just allergies.
Yeah. I slept it off and then I was good, you know. But I think the likelihood of me
the fear's there.
Yeah.
So it worked. The fear mongering works.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps a lot of people like even to this like day like, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now. Nothing makes me more angry than seeing a motherfucker in a car by themselves with a mask on. Like, bro, I get it if you want to wear a mask in the store. I wore a mask in the store the other day.
Yeah.
Wasn't proud of it, but it was Walmart. I don't trust motherfuckers at Walmart.
Yeah.
But if you're in the car by yourself, I get it, maybe like your grandma's in the car, you want to wear a mask. I get that. If you're by yourself, why the fuck are you wearing a mask?
Yeah.
Because first off, you look stupid. And number two, I can just tell... Oh, you're a stupid driver. I need to get around you as quick as possible.
Recycle.
Yeah, and no, to the same effect though, you know, like I'm so against, like I don't like wearing the mask, but to the opposite end of the spectrum, those motherfuckers are like, I can't wear a mask because I can't breathe. You can't fucking wear a mask. Come on, like stop being a pussy.
That's just being a pussy.
Yeah. It's like, come on, like you're just being.
And
extra.
this whole like, oh, you're infringing on my rights, like. Motherfucker, stop being a bitch. Yeah. Like, not everybody's trying to take your fucking rights away. That's why I'm sorry. And people get mad when you self-hate. I fucking hate so many white people. Like, and it's mainly white people that, like, get mad about shit like that. When it's like, oh, you're infringing upon my rights. Like, bro, like, we're all in this shit together.
Yeah,
like, shut the fuck up.
And so I think the thing about it is that people need to realize it's probably not as bad as they make it seem.
It's not.
And it's also not a thing. Right?
Yeah.
It's somewhere in the middle. And so, take your precautions, take your vitamins, be healthier, you know?
Yeah.
Do all these things like that it's going to help you just in case you do get it. But don't go around like fucking coughing in people's faces and shit like that. And two, and I always be like this because I've worked retail, is if somebody, like if the sign says wear a mask, don't do it because somebody's like because you're giving your rights away. Do it because somebody works there and you're a decent human being by not having to force them, be like, hey, you know, these are the rules. It's not their rules. It's the fucking business rules. And if you hate it so much, just don't shop at that business, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
But that being said, I did send y'all a clip that kind of went viral with Ben Shapiro. Did y'all take a look at that?
I actually did because I wanted to react to it pure because I know you two reacted to it, saw it, and I'm a fan of Ben Shapiro. So.
Yeah, it's not that long if you want to take a look at it.
You have the remote?
Yeah. You want to grab it this time?
Paper, scissors, rock?
Nah, fuck that. Grab it, hand it to me, and I'm going to hand it to...
hand it to daddy.
Yeah. And I think this is... I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say too much before it comes on.
What should I look up? Ben Shapiro what?
Just Ben Shapiro, Bill Maher. Now, I like to talk, and Ben Shapiro likes to talk. I don't agree with everything he says, but he seems really smart.
He does like direct people, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. There you go. It's going to be that first one.
The first one right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
9 minutes.
Yeah, it's a lot longer than I thought it was. But it goes by quick.
Hard news. I had
You can pause it if you want to.
It's okay. But I got to talk about the muzzle laws. There's these laws that are been introduced in a number of states to not talk about critical race theory. Now, critical race theory, I must say, to begin with, I hadn't heard the term probably a year ago. Now I hear it every day. I think Americans are just starting to hear it. And I think no one knows exactly what it is. They know it has something to do with race, and it's some kind of a theory. Right?
That's a hot take.
How would you describe it? And then we'll ask.
Very accurate. Accurate.
Accurate?
I read a lot of critical race theory in law school, so the work with Derek Bell or John or G. Stefan
This is the stuff that no one knows but you and 6 other people.
Right. So
But what matters is what is it practically? It's being taught in schools or some form of.
yes, there's a certain sort of crystallized version of it that is a lot less complex than what critical race theory actually is. But critical race theory essentially argues that racism is baked into all the systems of American society. And
The
that
1619
any sort of
Project.
Neutral system is in fact a guise for racial power. And so the argument is made by Derek Bell, for example, that Brown versus Board of Education, and this is an argument he made in 1991, that Brown versus Board of Education was actually a way for the white community to leverage its own power. It wasn't an attempt to end segregation in public schools. Even things that are purportedly good in terms of race, so long as they uphold these broader systems, things like capitalism or things like the meritocracy, these things are actually just guises for power. And so what that boils down to in sort of practical terms is all disparity equals discrimination. If you can see any stat where black people are underperforming white people, this means the system was set up for the benefit of white people, and that white people have a duty to tear down these systems in order to alleviate the racism that's implicit in those systems. When it comes to schools, what this tends to boil down to is kids who are white have experienced privilege because the system was built for white people, and we have to change the standards.
Right. Now, okay, well, so Malcolm, you tell me you're different.
Oh, I agree with everything he just said.
Oh, great.
I appreciate you being honest in defining of what it's like to be Black American. Right? That is, I mean, we're talking about a system.
That's not fair. We're
No,
saying
no,
we
no,
can't.
I'm just saying I agree with all of those suppositions because they are grounded in truth. Look, when the funny thing is, it's not just that.
Let me tell you something. Okay. Yes, there are a lot of things that are inherently racist.
Yeah.
But to say that every fabric of America is somehow deeply rooted in racism. I don't know about you, okay, but I was not brought up to think of the color of somebody's skin. Like, people were just people.
Yeah.
Like, I remember my first crush was a black girl when I was like 5 years old, and my mom was like, "Oh, why do you like her?" I was like, "Oh, because I like the pretty things that she has in her hair." It wasn't that she was black. It was just like, oh, like, she was just a girl that I was attracted to.
Yeah.
What critical race theory is doing is like trying to teach kids that like if you're white, you're inherently going to be like everything that you've done and everything that you'll go forward doing is racist. And if you're a person of color, you're automatically a victim. It basically makes them think like to have a victim mentality, which is the worst thing you can do, is have a victim mentality. Because guess what? Nobody's a fucking victim unless you make your fucking self a victim, okay? Unless you're a kid and you're in an unwinnable situation. But when you're an adult, there's things you can do to get yourself out of that situation to where you won't be a victim. But to teach kids that's what the whole critical race theory is like to teach them like, oh, you like, and it's fucked up to do to kids of color to be like, hey, you automatically have a disadvantage in life, so just get ready. Like that's fucked up to do to those kids.
It is 100% because you'd like to think that the generation that's gonna get us to where we want to get to is the next generation.
Yeah.
And I think that what you're doing by because you're teaching the kids, like the white kids that maybe might have never learned these racial things because it's not what we see every day.
Little kids that have nothing to do with racism, you're telling them that just because of the color of your skin, you can't do this or this or that or this or that. That's racist.
Yeah. And so being a person of color,
that's the definition of fucking racism.
Yeah. So being a person of color, that's one thing that like I played a lot of sports growing up, right? And outside of baseball, it's kind of like what you see on TV. It's either black or white people, right? Like, I mean, that's what you see on TV. There's not a lot of like Hispanic last names, So one thing that I kind of grew up doing is kind of seeing, when it comes to sport, like black and white kids as competition. And I mean, I'm pretty tall for a Mexican. I'm pretty athletic, right? So I was able to win a lot of these things. So like from a very early age, I didn't ever see as one race or one person being better than the other, and it carried over to like my professional life. You know, when I started working like at work, you know, it's like I never saw white people as having more advantage than me. It's like I always saw it as like, if this person could do it, I could do it. So just like what it was in sports, it's like, well, if this is possible, I should be able to do it. I'll just work hard and do it.
Right.
And I had every excuse to be like, oh, well, he don't like me because I'm Mexican. Oh, like it must be these gauges, it must be these tattoos, you know? Like I have multiple, not just my race. I don't speak the best, you know? I have multiple things that I can use as an excuse, but I never did. And if you notice, most people that are successful, like that are people of color, that are honest, like talk like that, hey, like if you don't use this excuse, you can't make it, but you have to not use excuses. I think the biggest thing that's a disrespect to people, like, so whenever I talk to like young Hispanic guys, I never tell them, hey, like people are gonna hate you because you're Hispanic. You're already at a disadvantage because you're Hispanic. Because it's not true. Because it's also saying, if I say that to young Hispanic people, it's saying I'm different. I was able to do it, but you won't be able to do it. Right. And I feel like, you know, Hispanic and black people, if you choose to say that, if you've gotten yourself, because I've met a lot of people that have gotten themselves out of shitty situations, and then make it still use that excuse of like, oh, but people have advantages over us. And it's like, if you were able to do it, so can somebody else. Yeah. You know? So don't put that in people's heads, because you're already telling them you can't do it. Yeah. You should be telling them, it's like, I've made it,
especially kids. Yeah. Why would you tell, like, I'm not a firm believer in telling a kid you can be whatever you want, because kids need a dose of reality. Yeah. But to hamstring them because of something like the way they were born, which they had no say in. Yeah. To just hamstring them like that. Yeah. Like, doesn't matter, you know, if like, oh, if you're a person of color, like, you know, you have this disadvantage. Or if you're white, like, well, guess what? You're just automatically, you're a terrible person. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, for sure.
So, I know I said this a little out of my depth, but you and I know about Young Me Park.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So she had conversations like in some of her.
Was that the North Korean defector? Yeah.
Yeah. She talks about stuff that's similar to this critical race theory. Like, something can happen. Someone in a family line can do something bad, and because of that, if it's bad enough, you know, generations of the family are sent to like the concentration camps, they're sent to like the death camps and things like that. Wow. They can wipe out your entire family over something you did, because something somebody did in the past has tainted your bloodline forever. And it's kind of similar to what we're seeing here, right? Like, Jonathan, you and I are white. There is a distinct possibility that somewhere along the lines, one of our ancestors did something super bad, right? But you've been passionate enough to, like, you know, show that you're not who you came from, right? You aren't somebody you are bloodline related to, like, it's generations past. So why should you, you know, have to feel guilty about who you are and where you come from?
I've met...
Because you're not that person, basically, is what I'm saying.
I've met people of every single race that are amazing, kind, sweet. And I've met people of every race that is a fucking cunt or a dick. Okay? Yeah. It shouldn't matter the color of your skin. There's just assholes out there. Are there assholes that are white that are super fucking racist? Hell yeah, and it's very prevalent too. Like how racist they are, especially towards black people. Yeah. But are all white people racist? Yeah. No. Are all black people terrible people and thugs and all these terrible things that crazy racist white people believe and think and fear? Like, no, like, you're all fucking stupid.
Yeah, no, and you know what? Like, one thing that I feel like it's my personal responsibility. Like, before I, like, around middle school time, like, right? Because, like, once I got into high school, I started playing metal. And there's not a lot of Hispanic people that play metal. I mean, I was in a band with none but Hispanics that played metal, right? But in the bigger scope of things, there's a lot of white kids, right? But in middle school...
Bro, we had a guitarist, Iron. Yeah. He was Hispanic.
Yeah. Well, I had...
you know, it's...
In middle school, like, there's a reason why me and him really didn't talk in middle school. We went to the same middle school, and we didn't become friends until high school. And that's because at the time, like I was of the same mentality. I came from Mission Apartments, right? This is Section 8 housing, right? It was like, I mean, the good thing about Texas is that everybody's kind of like mixed. So I'm not saying that there weren't white people there. There's a lot of minorities, right? All my friends were Mexican. Like I just hung out with Mexicans. That's all I did. And I was of the same way. It's like, oh, these fucking racist ass white people, blah, 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 right? Well, then I started playing in like this metal band, and I also played baseball. And there was a guy that I played baseball with that was friends with Dustin, that was friends with Matt, that was friends with you, you know? So it's like through these things, right? And so when I started playing music, I was playing baseball. I was a pitcher, he was a catcher. So we just would meet up and I'd pitch to him and stuff like that, right? We ended up becoming friends. We ended up going to the same high school. We ended up playing instruments. Then we started playing instruments with Dustin. That's how I met this guy, right? But before this whole time, like I was just like, yeah, like I don't trust white people. Like I was the exact same way, right? It wasn't until I met you guys, right, that like I realized, oh no, it's not all white people, you know? It like there's definitely racist white people, but I started realizing that it's like, nah, like not all white people are like that. And so now, because of you guys, because y'all were my friends and y'all treated me the same. Like I've never once hung around with you guys and felt like different than you. And because of that, like I feel like I've been a little bit more vocal when certain rhetorics are like all white people are racist. I wouldn't be a good friend if I was like, nah, like that's not true. You know, like are there racist white people? For sure. Are there racist Mexicans? Are there racist black? Like I would know, because the thing is, there's also another fantasy. Like
racists come in all shapes and sizes, like, colors, everything. Yeah, there's shitty ass fucking people.
Yeah, and it's a misconception because I was born in L.A. Like I got cousins, right, that were in L.A. gangs. Who do you think they were beefing with? It wasn't white gangs, it was black gangs.
Yeah.
And certain things that were said in my family, like, hey, we're flat out racist. Yeah. Not towards white people. I mean, yeah, towards white people too. But it was also, so like this whole thing that
fucking
if you can't,
gringos.
Yeah, so this whole thing that you can't be a person of color and racist is false. It's 100% false, because I've seen it, I've witnessed it, and like from all races, you know? So it's like, I think that going back to living in this fantasy internet world in reality, because what I tell people is like, look, I'm Mexican every fucking day. I'm brown every fucking day. And I'm just that. I decided to put on tattoos and all this stuff. The last time I've encountered an actual racist, not a perceived racist, not like, oh, this guy was an asshole, oh, it's probably because I'm Mexican. Not that type of shit. Maybe that guy's just an asshole. Like, but I can't say that somebody's been racist to me this year. Right? That's reality. I walk around all day in this skin, being this guy. I talk Spanish. I do all this shit. I walk around. And I can't say somebody's been racist to me in the past 2 years. And if I could keep going back, you know, that's reality. What we live out and like respecting one another, that's reality. And somebody can be a bitch and an asshole, doesn't mean that they're racist. Now, sometimes they are. And those people need to be called out, you know? For sure.
You know what? That goes back to, it's a lot of older people. I think people like our generation in their 30s, like, are a lot less racist than the people that came before us.
Yeah.
And it's not even like they're racist to a fault. It's a lot of times it's a lot of how a lot of older people were raised because their parents before them were even more racist. Yeah. Because it's true that like there's a lot of motherfucking racist people out there. I've seen it personally myself where I'm like, God damn, that was racist. Like I hear somebody say something, I'm like, that's fucked up. Yeah. But like something I just realized like when you were talking, not that I was getting lost in your eyes, but this is a legit thing. So until I moved to Garland, and then like I moved to where my parents live now, you know, they've lived there for like 26 years or whatever. You know, I lived out in the country and it was mainly white people. Legitimately, I think you are the first Hispanic friend I ever had. Really? Because I met you through Scott, you know, but before that, like, I wasn't around any other Hispanic people. But then I never thought of you, though, as, oh, you're a Hispanic dude. Yeah. Like, you were just Peter. Yeah. Like, because I wasn't brought up, like, oh, like, these are, like, my parents never were like, oh, don't stay around the Hispanic people or don't get around black people. And this was like that. Like, it was never a thing like that. So, I coming to Garland, I mean, that probably helped because Garland is a giant melting pot. Yeah. You know, it didn't. I didn't even think twice.
Yeah.
Now, when I went to Naaman Forest, my first 3 years of high school, it's predominantly white.
Yeah.
And it's a different thing than we're in Abercrombie and Fitch and Hollister. But I tell you what, the last year and a half I went to North Garland, and it's a very more diverse. Where Naaman is about at that time was about 75% white.
Yeah.
North was about 15% white.
There was no 300 hall at Naaman.
And 100%. I made more friends in my year and a half at North than I did ever at Naaman, and I never felt more comfortable than I did at North. Way more comfortable at North than I did at Naaman.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because there's, and I think it was because there was diversity, but it was like I'm away from there's so many there's a lot, and I'm not trying to bash white people, but there's a lot of pretentious fucking white people.
Yeah.
And at that school, it was all the rich white kids, but it is a different atmosphere.
But you see, I think that's important because it's you're talking about pretentious white people that are assholes to other white people. That you're saying is I didn't make any friends as a white person.
Yeah.
And I think that's where going back to don't make
you weren't
yourself a
cool
victim.
unless you were rich too at Naaman. All the cool kids were rich. Now I got into it, but after my sophomore year, I was like, oh, all these motherfuckers are fake, and they just want to try to impress the other one. None of these people are real.
But real quick though, it's the way that us minorities look at it though sometimes is when we meet a pretentious white person, we make ourselves victims by sometimes saying, oh, it's not because this person's an asshole or he's pretentious, it's because I'm Mexican. And that's where and that's where it's we have to have, I think that us as minorities, we do have to build ourselves up. One thing about me, I don't give a fuck what anybody fucking thinks about me. I think I'm the fucking shit, and that's what I'm gonna believe in. And I know that sometimes people don't have that type of confidence, and I think that when you become a victim, when somebody hasn't really purposely done something, you have to understand that that's a you problem. That's you not thinking you're not good enough. If somebody's a fucking 100%. Asshole, if somebody thinks is talking shit to me and is a fucking asshole, my first thing is that dude's a fucking asshole. Fuck that guy, because I'm cool as fuck. There's something wrong with him, not me. Yeah. And maybe that's a little delusional, but you also got to think that the flip side is like that. When somebody's an asshole, maybe you think you're a victim because you think you're lacking something, and that's where you have to go back and build yourself up, And I'm not trying to bash or talk about people that actually do experience racism, because it is
it's
still
very real.
It's still a thing, and it still happens. And you know what? That's when we have to call out those people, and not on perceived racism, but on real racism. Because I think the biggest thing is that we go around and when you identify as one of these groups, you also feel like you have a villain out there, or an enemy. And the thing is, most Americans are good people. We're imperfect people. We make mistakes, and sometimes I'm a fucking dick to people. And if I'm an asshole to a black person, they might think, oh, he's being racist. But hey, maybe sometimes I'm just an asshole. I'm just not perfect. We're not perfect,
You know what? And I'll say this: a majority of the more racist people are Southern people, but I'll tell you right now, you will not meet a more nice person than a Southern person, because people tell all the time stories about they go up north and if they're from the South, and people don't even look at them if they're cross their paths and stuff like that. But if you're here in Texas, I can't tell you how many times I just randomly walking in a store and meeting a person, make eye contact, hey, how you doing? Oh, good, how are you? Just random as fuck. People are genuinely nice. Yeah. What sucks is there's shitty people out there, and that outweighs all the other people. So there's the perceivedness. Yeah. Now in the South, are there more racist people than there is up north? Maybe. Is that give the people in the South a bad perception? But not all the people in the South are bad.
Yeah, but you know what?
It's all about how you perceive.
But I don't think, because this is to me, this is also racist, right? Is if I was up north, right, where people are a little bit more open-minded and liberal. And if somebody,
as a former account manager for the state of Pennsylvania, they're all a bunch of Yankee fucks.
Yes, yeah. So
I'm putting that on record.
So if I was up north,
there goes to both of us.
Yeah. If I was up north and some motherfucker came up to me and he's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry, for what? Man, I'm white. My life has just been so much better just because I'm white." Is that not fucking racist?
It's super racist.
That's super racist, right?
Yeah.
So it's what that's what I'm saying. It's fuck you if you come to me and you try to tell me that your life has just been better just because you're white, like you've had privileges. Fuck, you don't know my fucking life. My life has been fucking great, you know.
Yeah.
Like I haven't had money, but I've worked for everything that I've had.
People are stupid.
And nobody's held me back. Like every goal that I've put in front of myself, I've accomplished. You know, and so it's like, now, am I fucking filthy rich? No, I'm a working man. I'm a blue collar. You know, like I didn't invent shit. Like, you know, like I'm not good with technology.
Yeah.
So yeah, I made bad investments. You know, like my life isn't perfect, but it's not like it's just a normal life. I think sometimes we think that we should have more than what we. Like, we see celebrities and we're like, oh, I should have that. Well, guess what? I wasn't a fucking theater geek that fucking got into acting. That's on me, right? Because I thought I was too cool to be an actor. Hey, you know what? I didn't fucking work on my voice. I'm not a good fucking singer. I didn't dance. I didn't play basketball. Like, I didn't do these things. So maybe that's why they have those things and I don't. But it doesn't mean I'm owed those things. It doesn't mean that every white person
You're not
walks
owed
around.
shit.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that every white person walks around with Versace. And just because I don't have Versace, it's fucking, you know, systematic
Everything
racism.
that I have here, which is not a lot, I bought and paid for all this shit.
Yeah.
Because I worked hard for it.
Yeah.
I didn't get shit handed to me.
Yeah.
Have I had certain things go, you know, maybe better for me because I was white at certain times in my life? Maybe. I can't tell you yes or no.
I mean, it'd
But
be hard to
why
prove.
would you judge me on that?
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge you on some shit. Like,
Yeah.
just because of your skin color. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, but again, like,
It's
I don't think
stupid.
that's kind of hard to prove. Like, to say that did
Yeah.
happen to you. It's like, how would you prove that?
You can't.
You know, you can't.
You can't.
You can't. But I mean, yeah. The clip goes on. This guy fucks it up. Like the guy that goes.
I can already tell that I would get very annoyed if we watched the rest of
Yeah,
this.
yeah. He like, so basically, like, long story short, like Ben addresses a lot of the situations, and the guy just like doesn't address anything. He says like, and one of the things
Didn't
like,
take ownership.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't
Well,
add anything constructive.
yeah, well, one of the things is like Ben started going into like school and why we shouldn't like bring down any of the standards. Like we should just help people reach the good standards, you know. And like this guy just brings up his grandfather and how he would have never thought that he'd be on stage like arguing like that all these bad things are good and all stuff. And it's like he just deflects a lot. And then at the end, like later on, it went viral and a lot of people were saying it's like, dude, like you.
I can already tell he had victim mentality.
Yeah. He didn't do that good, and the fucking.
The way I took this again, I've seen this clip, I've seen the whole thing, and Ben's always been a person who's gonna hit you with facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. If you hurt your feelings, you don't give a fuck. I respect that shit.
Yeah.
Like, to the letter, I respect that shit. I don't know anything about this guy. I've never heard his name.
Yeah, I really
no
don't know
idea
much
who the
about him.
fuck he is, right? But the way he comes off in this video is like very comical, like very cartoonish, right?
Yeah.
Like not I could know nothing about him, and everything that Ben said he tried to deflect, but he tried to do it in a way that was kind of like whimsical to try to like keep you like more interested in what he has to say and less interested in the facts that are being presented to him. And that's just the only impression I have of this man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. He definitely again. It's just the biggest thing is like have a conversation. That's all it is. It's like address the things and like both people should grow. Like I feel like, again, I don't agree with everything that Ben Shapiro says all the time, you know, but in this situation he did come up big because it's like he addressed some things and the person just didn't piggyback. There was no back and forth. And
Yeah.
like, and then also there was like personal attacks from this guy towards Ben. And when the guy on Twitter was like,
Yeah,
a lot
I
of people,
guarantee you Ben Shapiro didn't personally attack him in any kind of way.
yeah, no, when the only thing that Ben fucked up on was that like when he's like, because this guy's like, he was like, is this what you do on your show? Because it sucks. And he's like, Ben was like, oh, well, I'll console myself tonight on my bed made of money or something like that. You know? Yeah, and so like,
That's just trolling.
I mean, it's funny, but like he would have looked so much better if he would have just been like, because this guy was so.
if he kept it
like,
civil the entire time.
Yeah. But I mean,
But that goes back to what I said earlier. Like, sometimes you should take the high road and yes, do
Yeah.
that. But sometimes it's necessary to take that
yeah,
low road.
but this guy was so he out that it would just like made Ben look a lot better. But the funny thing is when he got a lot of blowback on Twitter saying he lost, he said that it was just a whole bunch of bots that were saying that.
oh, this guy?
Yeah, this guy
That's
did.
one of my least favorite things. And thankfully, Scott is back on Twitter. Man, you're about to see some wild shit. I can't wait to start tagging you in some shit.
Yeah, just
And
follow
just,
me.
just to anger you throughout the day.
Just follow me at Kalamazoo.
I did want to make this announcement, guys. We were officially.
You're coming out? Oh wait, never mind. Let me have you. You want to hold him?
No.
You want to have your moment?
This is officially our longest podcast.
Oh,
really?
how long we
We're
been
an hour
on?
and 55 minutes.
Oh shit! All right. On that note,
Our longest is an hour and 54 minutes, so that's why I was like,
on that note,
interesting.
Yeah.
let's go ahead.
No,
and-
there was one other thing that I wanted to do at the end of this podcast that we kind of went away from. Was we don't ever shout out our social medias anymore. Scott, you used to do that all the time.
Yeah,
You
until you
know?
yelled at me for fucking up Fat Boy Productions.
Yeah.
That was at the beginning of a podcast, though.
Yeah.
But also, then I think at the end, maybe we do a pose for the camera at the end, like whatever we want our thumbnail to be, like do a specific kind of pose.
Peter's gonna be like this, and I'm just gonna be like,
So, okay, we're done with that then. But
Okay.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I felt like we got a little charged up there at the end, but this was a good podcast.
I think so too. I
A
mean,
wide ranging one.
yeah. I mean, we touched on assholes. We
Licky
fucking
bum bum.
we fucking touched on some politics, and you
Licky
know,
bum bum.
I do want to say, like, anything that we say, if we offended you with assholes, if we offended you with some of the things that we were talking about,
Just check out our reaction videos. We don't talk about assholes and notes.
yeah. But I mean, just, you know, we're fucking nobodies. We're just fucking talking shit on the fucking internet.
And somehow people
So-
subscribe to us.
Yeah. So you know,
if you're at this point, if you're an hour 55 minutes into the podcast, I fucking love you.
yeah, you're fucking great.
Like, I will personally
Lick your butthole.
see you guys later.